welcome to the Arcade Hangout episode 91. I am Orange Whip, one of your hosts for the evening, and just a bunch of arcade collectors who like to meet once a week and chat about the arcade collecting hobby. We have a question of the week again. I guess we did
bring it back.
A game to play for the last week or so because of the tournament and stuff, and some arcade icon glitches that Joel may or may not talk about later.
Deny everything. Plead the fifth.
So the question of the week is, what became of your childhood arcade? What was the name of it? What happened to it? When did it close down? What did it become? Bulldozed? That sort of thing. So I got this question via Carrie. So let's go and pass this to Carrie first.
Oh, no.
You can pass it on.
Nice.
She's already
Thanks,
ready.
Mark.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're already ready with it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I had.
Okay.
So the arcade I went to was called Galactican, and it was within walking distance of my high school, conveniently located.
What was it called? Galactican?
Yeah.
Wow.
Galactican? Like Galaxian?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it was more like Galactic. I mean, honestly, it's been so long, but yeah, it was Galactic. Yeah, Galactic.
It was such a big arcade that there was an echo.
I was experiencing an echo earlier, too.
Someone echoing?
Here, let me.
I'm not. You're not echoing over here.
There's no echo over here.
All right.
I think we found the culprit.
Were you just fucking with me? Galactican. Yeah, Galactican. Galactican.
Dude, that is like
San Jose, technically.
Arcade name right there. I don't think you could get more arcade name.
Yeah, no, totally. And it was in a little strip mall by my high school in San Jose. And my mom actually still lives pretty close to around there. So I don't know when it stopped being an arcade, but I know it's not an arcade now. And for a while it was a martial arts studio. And now it pains me to say that it's a Bikram yoga studio.
Martial art?
Yeah, exactly. Bikram yoga.
I'm not quite tipsy enough yet to be on target.
Carrie, I think it was actually pronounced gay lactician, wasn't it?
Gay lactician.
Oh, nice. Maybe
now they have a different name for it. It's 2017, so you got to be PC.
Yeah. And I remember walking in the door, and I still remember where Tempest was on the floor. Like, there are certain games. I remember what the place smells like, and I remember where a couple of the games were, like where the bathroom was, where the smokers used to hang out, and Tempest was on your left. And yeah, it's funny how like a lot of it's just a big blur. And I remember where Dragon's Lair was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's a couple of them where it's just so seared into my head, and I would surreptitiously play Tempest because I didn't want people to realize just how bad I was and that I'd actually played it before and have them look at it and go, "Oh, wow, you really suck at that." So be like, "Okay, nobody's looking. Okay, quick, I'll play a game." Oh, I died. So yeah.
Now let me ask you: was this arcade a place that you could just like ride your bike to, or did you have to ride a bus to, or did you get your parents to take you to, or?
It was within walking distance of my high school, and I had to take a bus to my high school, or when I was old enough to drive, then I could drive there. But I actually went to school slightly out of district, so my high school wasn't super close to where I lived.
You broke the rules. You're already breaking the law before you.
Oh, I know, no, totally. My mom totally. My mom did it. My mom got she lied and said I was going to be in the orchestra, which I was for the first year, in order to get me to the better school and away from a nasty girl bully who used to bully me and all this kind of stuff. And she was going to the other high school, so it was all done to get away, so I could get away from her because she was bad. And this was a better school, so yeah, my mom totally lied.
Jackson nasty.
Hey, Jim, Jim, you gotta play the "Won't Stand for Baloney" from Weird Science.
Let's see.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney. He won't, you know. He doesn't stand for baloney.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa.
All right, so I will pass this on because I think I've now exhausted my high school memories. And I'm going to pass it to Steve. I'll go push him off.
Oh, okay.
That's your cue.
Yeah. All right, Mock the Magic Man. I'm gonna say it early in case Brad posts this to iTunes. That I sell. I'm gonna do my plug real quick. Halloween special effects. Check it out. YouTube, Mock the Magic Man, and you can check out the new NAT video, which is pretty sweet. I think. Yeah, shows our antics at the NAT tournament. About the Not a Tournament. You can see us and some other fun people that joined us in our tournament. But also, if you check that out, you can also check my special effects for Halloween. That's just around the corner. You can see all the fun special effects I do for Halloween pumpkin projection special effects. So just go check that out. Okay, that's it. And
about your book as well, your new book that's coming
and my new book's coming out in January. No, okay. Anyway, I don't read.
I'm not a nerd.
I'm not a nerd. Okay,
it's entitled "Life Under a Devo Hat." Book, right?
Make America Devo again.
Behind the closet with the hat on. Okay, so anyway, Wyo can actually confirm this too, because he actually went to the same arcade. We actually talked about it when I first met him. There was this arcade that I would have my parents take me to because it was in La Jolla. It was a little bit of a distance, about a 20-minute drive or so, but it was one of the best arcades around. And it was in a next to an outdoor mall, and it was above a ice rink. And it overlooked the ice rink with like these big glass windows, and it was called Yellow Brick Road. And it was just a huge arcade, and it had all the latest games always. In fact, I remember when Battlezone first came out, they had about 10 of them all in a row, and everybody was playing it. I remember everybody playing Battlezone, and there's 10 of them all. I mean, where do you ever see 10 Battlezones and lined up? Crazy. Wow. Yeah, it was kind of a sight to see. Yeah, back then. Yeah. It was the first place I ever saw Dragon's Lair. First place I ever saw Thayer's Quest, which was a bomb, but it was a place I saw it. Cube Quest, I think I saw there. Oh God, Cliffhanger. When Brad and I talked about that one time, we talked about that gunslinger thing, where there's like a mannequin that pulls up the gun, and you got a holster that you put on with like this leather belt, and you pull out the gun, you shoot at another mannequin cowboy. I don't know. It's a light gun game. It's a physical game though. And you're shooting at another like mannequin. Anyway, that was actually at that arcade. That's where I saw it. They had all sorts of shit. Yeah, they had stuff that was just weird. Like they would project birds on the wall, and you'd shoot them as they'd fly by, and it just had all sorts of shit at this place. Yeah. Oh my God. They had a sit-down racing game where they projected landscape going by with projected cars that were on a separate projector, and you got to like steer around these cars, and oh my God, they just had all sorts of crazy shit at this arcade. But anyway,
it's like all fancy up there.
Yeah, because it's a kind of a rich area in La Jolla. But anyway, and it was in a mall. It had a lot of foot traffic, and people would go to the ice rink, and after they go to the ice rink, they would go to the arcade. It was kind of it was an arcade that really lasted a pretty long time. But eventually it did die, and then it just sat dormant for a really long time. And then finally, when they did a remodel of the mall, just recently, in fact, I would say probably within, I would guess maybe 5-10 years ago, they tore it all out, and they extended the food court all the way down it and right into it. So now it's like a little food court area inside there, and you can get Chipotle or some shit like that.
Oh, boo!
I remember when. But yeah, that was the place that Wyo and I were talking about. It was either Wyo or it was Jeff C. I can't remember which guy it was. I'm pretty sure it was Wyo.
What was the name of the book?
Yellow Brick Road.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was looking up some articles trying to find anything on it, and it was funny. I found a really old article somebody had posted on the internet, and I had the owner from the arcade, and it was before his arcade got shut down, maybe a couple years prior. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to survive. All these home consoles are killing us. Nobody's playing the games here anymore, and you know everything they can play is better at home. And I don't think we're going to last much longer. And sure enough, yep, like all of them gone. So what he should have done is like got a liquor license and said the new barcade. Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, that wasn't even a term back then.
Yep. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right. How about see? Does anybody have one in their head already? No. Okay. Gak.
No. His default answer.
Well, I could probably pick 4 or 5 because that's how many I went to back in the day. But probably my favorite one was called the Game Room, and I distinctly remember the logo.
How original.
Yeah, right. The logo.
Boring.
The logo had kind of curly, kind of not cursive, but kind of rounded letters, you know, saying the Game Room. But it had it like 3 times, like copied 3 times at an angle. And it's big
like
square banner thing.
Offset.
I think it was like a black background with white letters. You know, and there was a front and rear entrance had signs on both sides. I totally remember that. But it wasn't like a super dark arcade. There was windows outside so you could see, the games going on in there. Probably so many games I had played the first time there. Environmental Discitron, Road Blaster's Cockpit, too many good ones. So, but yeah, now it's that whole area. So across the street was Sunrise Mall, which still exists. But that side was called Birdcage Walk in Citrus Heights. And Birdcage Walk, they've completely redone it. And now it's like a giant Target Greatland kind of place. They kind of expanded into that whole area. So it's long gone. But,
I remember Birdcage Walk.
Yeah, they actually used to have birds in there. They actually had big like 2 big cages, I believe. And they actually had birds in there. Yeah,
Oh.
and now they have like signs on the outside of the lot that have it's like a logo with birds in a cage. So
all the arcade machines had bird shit all over them.
Yeah, right. The arcade was in the bird cage.
All spotted white.
Well, Jack, I have to tell you that I joke all the time about Citrus Heights because I'm like, yeah, I've been in Citrus Heights. I used to date a guy who lived in Citrus Heights. I'm like, there's no citrus. There's no heights.
Right.
it's flat land and there's
if you go back to like probably the 60s and older, maybe there were, but yeah, it's long
But
gone.
dude, there were never heights.
Right. Maybe semi hills, yeah. Right. Yeah. One of the other arcades that's actually still is still there, Scandia. Near Highway 80 and Madison, I think, is that, which is also kind of at the edge of Citrus Heights. But I haven't been in there in years. I'm sure it's totally different now. But
yeah, and don't they have? Do they have laser tag at Scandia now too? Don't they have? Like they do the mini golf and the laser tag.
They have batting cages and the golf or the go karts and stuff. Yeah. Little sidebar story on that Scandia. When I was probably about 18. Me and some friends, and I'd have like army cargo shorts, like camouflage ones, and I get my dad had this bucket. My dad had this bucket of whenever he'd like change the oil out on his car, he'd put it in the bucket and just eventually get rid of it. I don't know. So I poured it into like a freezer. I poured it into a freezer Ziploc bag and then put it in my cargo pants shorts, and we go around the go-kart. And there was a spot that went under a bridge and then made a sharp turn to the right. I just like pulled the bag out and just like slapped it down on the track. Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
And everybody's like spinning out, like, doing 360s around that corner. Big old giant oil slick.
Jack was the original Mario Kart.
Right? Exactly. Instead of a banana, it was an oil slick.
You just need a turtle shell to hook at someo's head.
And, there's probably, there's usually like 10 or 12 people at a time, right? But 4 or 5 of us were friends and we were all in on it. And, of course, they shut down the track and they pull us all aside. And the guy that's running the track, and he was like cussing. He's like, I know it's one of you motherfuckers right here. What are you guys doing? And we're just like kind of all, everybody's laughing. Like all yeah. And he's like, you know how much work this is going to take to clean this shit up? You know?
No, I can't stop yelling because that's how I talk.
Yeah. Throw some kitty litter on it, you lazy fuck.
Yeah, you know. I think it pretty much shut it down for the night.
Get off my case, motherfucker.
Yeah. Smacked him, you know, little like 13-year-old like brat.
Right. So that's where Marvel. Case, that's where Marvel Madness played the first time. Was at that arcade with Candy. Yeah.
I like swear words too.
Oh, Carrie, so you know which arcade I'm talking about, right? It's like right next to the freeway.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
The miniature golf course. This is another thing we used to do too. We used to get all kinds of trouble there. The miniature golf course. There's like a corner. There's a corner spot where it kind of goes up a ramp and then into a pocket, but it's pointing at the freeway. And you can see cars on the freeway. You know? So, I mean,
where this is going.
As far as we possibly could to try to launch it out on the freeway.
Oh my God, you were so lucky the statute of limitations is run and all this shit.
That's on the designer of the course, though. I mean, if you give like you set that up for teenage or young kids, you're asking for it.
Yeah, they should have a net there or something.
Yeah. Well, and I believe that Scandi is owned or operated by like the brother of a cop in Placer County Cops. So there is actually a law enforcement connection there. Yeah,
I always thought that was such a shitty name too. They went from like golf and stuff to Scandia.
Yeah.
Right.
You're so stupid.
Yeah. Another one was called the Mine Shaft up Highway 50 in I think that was Folsom there. You remember that one too?
Yeah, well, I don't. I know that. I mean, I know these more from when I was college age.
Okay.
Because that's when I moved to Davis, and then I used to drive all around there and stuff like that. So.
Well, that's where they had Splatterhouse. That's the only time I ever saw Splatterhouse in that arcade.
Club, don't you think?
What's that?
The Mine Shaft sounds like.
You're right.
What kind of cabinet? Do you remember what kind of cabinet it was in? Was it like a Williams cabinet conversion or something?
I do not remember that at all.
As like a 14-year-old, you don't remember these things,
right?
You weren't paying attention to the cabinet design and if it was a leaf stick.
Okay, well, I do remember this about that place though, Jimbo, was they had a Tetris, and again, I think that was the first time I saw Tetris, and I swear I remember it being in a tapper cabinet. Because I remember seeing like the cup holders and like, oh, this is a tapper. What did they do to it? You know, that I swear I remember that. So I'm thinking of that.
Wow.
But yeah, so now it's like it turned into like an RV dealership, and then it's been closed for probably 6 or 8 years now. That one, but it's still the same building. You drive up Highway 50. So. All right, so that I'll leave it at that.
Mine Shaft is like a German gay club, actually, if you think about it.
Nice.
The Mine.
Way to bring it back.
Well,
you might have won for tonight. The show winner might be Griffin on that one.
Or the showstopper.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So and I'll say again, Mock, awesome job on the video.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to give Gak credit for filming all that too. He filmed like so much. I can't believe
what kind of card did you have
so much in there. I know, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah,
he held so much info.
I have the ridiculous iPhone that has 256 gig memory built into it. So
my phone would be filled like in like 5 minutes. Be like, okay, one game, that's it. That's all you get.
I know. I have 2 32 gig cards, and Gak took like 18 gigs of video.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we did like a half an hour walkthrough of 1UP when we walked together. That took like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Not when I edit it.
Yeah. Right.
Press down into 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But you get the gist of how big it is and how many games you have, and kind of
this is all you see is my arm going.
Yeah. If you know the games, you know what to look for. You know, they have a.
If you look real close, when I walk by Defender. When I walk by Defender, I pan the camera and check the buttons.
Oh, I cut some of that out too.
I know.
I will say this: you didn't see coin doors the whole time. Right. You actually got to see marquees and screens, unlike some other videos I know of.
Yeah, right. So, yeah. You know, unfortunately, and that's no problem. I'll live with it. You know, I'll own up to it. I'm getting tagged on Facebook.
Are you?
So that little section in the video, the one pinball part. You know?
Oh yeah, are they laughing at that, or are they going?
I don't know. I haven't had any relatives
nice.
reach out to me and be like, "Chris, what were you doing?" You know,
Yeah, that's why I haven't like
something you want to tell us. Just imagine if I got tagged.
You did get tagged.
You got tagged.
I haven't been on
Griffin
Facebook.
posted it on
I haven't.
Facebook. I didn't like it because I don't want like my aunt to see it and say, "What is he doing to those boys in front of the pinball table?" Gross.
I never saw that on a post on Facebook.
Brad, did that make you laugh when you saw that?
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome.
You want me to tag you on it, Jimbo?
I would love it.
I think Griffin posted it, and then I tagged Exity on it, and then Exity reposted it.
See, thank God I put the clip though, because if we just did that, people were like, "Hey, they should like each other."
Help my grandparents see it. They're on Facebook.
Who?
Give them a heart attack. My grandparents.
Oh
no.
They're in their mid 80s, 87. I think. Yeah.
What were you doing? Well, we were at the mine shaft.
Jimmy, this is what you got divorced for?
All right, I'm working on tagging people. I better pass it on. Jimbo, go for it.
Well, you tagged me against that pinball machine pretty well. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Gak. I got like 4 or 5 arcades, but I think probably the one I've spoken about the most on here would be Outer Limits, which is in the Crossroads Mall in St. Cloud here in Minnesota, where I grew up. And Sean, actually, that's what he named his arcade after. That. So anytime he's like, the Outer Limits, that's what he's referring to, is that arcade. And it was your traditional dark, no windows. It was kind of like a long hallway almost, so long and narrow, and games on both sides. And that's where I played a lot of classics, but then they also had like, 90s stuff too. So I have memories of playing like Spy Hunter and even Gunfight and certain black and white games, and as well as early 80s and then late 80s and 90s. And that went on for a long time. It didn't. I want to say it wasn't until like 94, 95 when I was like 14-ish, when they changed hands and they changed the name to Funtastic Highway, which basically meant it's got lights. It's a family-friendly place now. It's not like a straight-up arcade. So they had redemption shit. They put like some of the early coin pushers in there. I remember thinking that was the shit because you could actually win quarters. So it was like gambling for kids. And but
totally
they
still had kids.
Oh, it totally is. And they started doing mostly 90s stuff. What's that?
You have your little sherbet cigarettes while you were gambling, the little candy ones you blow.
They had two. They had the candy ones, and then they had the gum ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And there's that powder on it.
Yeah,
the gum ones are the good ones because you blow those out.
Literally blow the little powder out like it was.
Yeah, the little sick.
Grape
Who wants a pack of cigarettes?
I made the
No,
mistake.
those are not encouraging cigarettes at all. What are you talking about?
But those things help kids not understand how to inhale because you're blowing out to make this smoke. It's just totally fucking confusing.
I don't get it. So after that, it kind of went downhill from there. It stayed in that same location in the mall for quite a while, but it became more and more redemption stuff, less and less arcade bids and all that stuff. I think they maybe only had like 3 or 4 pins. There wasn't much for pins. And then eventually they moved to a smaller spot of the mall, and now it's still there, but it's like they have it's like 5, 6 redemption things, like 1 or 2 big gun games, like a big buck hunter and a Silver Strike bowling or something like that. So or Golden Tee. I don't know. There's hardly anything in there, but it's in a much smaller location of the same mall. Last time, at least, that I was there. So it didn't completely turn into something else. But when it was Outer Limits, it was pretty badass. So anyhow, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to pass it to you, Leo.
Hey, all right. Yeah. So the like everyone else too, I have a bunch of arcades that I love, but there was one called the Dream Machine that was on Nantasket Beach, where I grew up. It's different than all the arcades you guys are describing because it was.
And that's now your nickname, right? The Dream Machine.
But no, my nickname is the Wing Machine, but you know that's something for a different reason.
The cheek squeaker.
Yeah, the cheek squeaker. Damn, that's right.
Cheek squeak. Yeah.
It was right across the street from the Atlantic Ocean, right across from Nantasket Beach. So it had those open front doors where like the entire front part was open, so it got a lot of natural light, which was odd for an arcade. But I think I know I had my 9th and 10th birthday there. I think my 11th, it was right next to like a mini golf place, and you got as many tokens as you would want to play for. I just remember on like my 10th birthday, it was right after the Ninja Turtles game came out too, and we all just like played the shit out of that game for like 2 or 3 straight hours to play that. And yeah, I mean, just had a lot of the games that I really loved. Ninja Turtles, like Skee Ball, Marble Madness, even like Chiller, which I enjoyed. And it's kind of sad. I went back there earlier this year. I was hanging out at the beach, and it was maybe like a fourth the size that it used to be, and it had maybe 20 redemption games in total, like no actual arcade games. And I remember like in its heyday, it probably had 150 games all around too. It was like my favorite place to visit. And now it's like it used to be a whole nice little boardwalk. There was the mini golf, like a food place, a fascination machine, and like a roller coaster. And now it's just condos, because someone got the brilliant idea of like, wait, I could make next to nothing in an arcade or put up condos that sell for $500,000 looking over the Atlantic Ocean. What am I going to put up? So yeah, it's kind of sad though that kind of got replaced with that. But that's my place. Yeah, I know Debbie Downer on that one. I kind of. Carrie, have you gone yet, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I joined a little late. Who hasn't gone? Andrew.
Andrew.
Yep.
Pass it.
I don't even know what the fucking question is. What's the question?
Who's your daddy?
Well, according to the chat, it's how big is
Who's your daddy?
How big is your penis?
How big is your penis?
Have a penis. Girls have a vagina.
The question is,
Great.
your favorite arcade that you used to visit, what is it now, or what did it become?
From anywhere,
Like,
are you?
What do you remember about it that was cool and stuff? And then what did it become? Like, did it become like a brothel or?
Sweet. No, actually, what it became was like eventually like a bar. I mean, because like so the arcade that like I really associate spending a lot of time in was actually when I was in high school. I mean, we saw and hung out in like arcades, when I was younger, and there was games everywhere. So, every mall we went to, every movie theater we went to, it's like we were playing games. But as far as like having a home arcade, not so much. It was like a mall we used to go get ice cream at all the time, when I was little. So that one was a thing, but it was like a strip mall. It actually had an inside area downstairs. But
we had a strip mall, like it was kind of a ghetto arcade, but it had once in a while I would get like a weird oddball game like Boxing Bugs or Jack the Giant Killer. I don't know if you've seen those games, but they're like pretty.
Boxing Bugs is
Boxing
awesome.
Bugs you might have seen. Yeah, that's right. We had it in the tournament that one time. Yeah, but like Jack the Giant Killer is another like really odd.
That's a vector game, right?
Yes,
Jack
it is.
Okay, so that's on my short vector want list.
But one thing that I really it was owned by 2 retired old grandma. They look like we called them grandma and grandpa. Like, hi, grandma, because they're like really old retired people, and they used to give us tokens. It was a token arcade, but they would give you tokens for good grades. So you bring in your grades, and they would stamp it with their stamps, so you couldn't keep bringing it in. It was the original grade report, and they knew what it looked like because everybody got the same one. But yeah, I think you got 4 tokens for an A and 3 for a B. I think 2 for a C, and you got nothing for a D.
You get nothing.
Right.
All right, so nothing to like
You
it.
lose.
So I got like 4 tokens for my art class, and
Steve, did you still have the
Several
report
tokens.
card? Did your mom have the report card like stuffed away someplace in the attic?
Actually, I wasn't allowed to go to that arcade because my mom said that's where drug dealers hang out, and then when I like get drunk, I go there.
She had no faith in her parenting. Apparently, she thought it was all you were gonna
She
be
just thought
completely
that's where
influenced by these
I'm
other
gonna
people.
be influenced, just like
Yeah.
you know.
He's into the arcade. He's into the
I'll
drugs.
give you some
You know?
tokens.
Yeah.
Come into my van.
You want to buy some
Free
PCP?
What is PCP?
Yeah. I don't want PCP. I want a PCB.
How about this? Hey,
Oh.
do you want a Ghostbusters pinball?
Do you want a Ghostbusters pinball, little boy?
My van. I designed it too.
Oh no.
Too soon?
We're not that show.
wanted a pee-pee.
That's too soon.
Pee-pee.
That's what we did at Hyperspace. Like, excuse me, little boy, are your parents around? Would you like to play in a tournament? Come right this way.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it was funny because we're like, stay away from the kids. Just ask the adults.
Right.
Just ask the adults.
So it's like we were saying, like we can send Carrie around. That's safe, but don't have the guys asking.
Yeah.
Then that's not good.
We'd go in like pairs
Even
of
the teenagers, though, like I knew it was a mistake to ask them, but I did anyway, and it was a mistake. Yep.
Yeah.
Mistake. They just looked at me with like these eyes, like "drop dead, fucker." Those are the kids that were playing the Sonic game behind us in in that blue room. Yeah, they were just like, "Fuck off."
They were like, "You're old.
You're old. You're interrupting our Sonic the Hedgehog game."
Let me get back to my cell
Vintage.
phone.
You should have said we had beer.
Like you.
Goddamn freeloading son of a bitch.
You should have said we have beer if you want to come play, you know.
We didn't have beer though.
Yeah,
I had
that would
nothing.
have totally.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we
Yes,
didn't have beer.
it's
You're right.
hyperspace.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't have
Right.
weed. Didn't
Come
have
on,
beer.
hey,
didn't have nothing.
kids, come out to our van.
I got a lanyard.
Yeah.
You want to wear it?
Know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You can wrap it around your neck.
take your.
This is my
Query.
glove handle. Come on. Mother
Ladies and
gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you that we are live right now.
Oh yeah.
You can call it K-Love.
Want to offend our 7 viewers?
No, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
About
There might be close to. There's more than 7. There might be close to 10. Yeah. Actually, there's
If you round it up.
that's back.
10.
So that was
Oh,
that was,
11.
that was a
Let's go
cool
to
thing
11.
though. That we did go around. We talked to some people, and we did get people to join as well.
We got like 5 to 8, I would say.
Yeah, and then we had later on during the tournament that people wanted to join, but we were already in the middle of the tournament.
I couldn't believe that. I wish that was in the
Yeah.
video. Me turning around. Did I turn to you, Andrew, or Gak, or someone? And I'm like, who's this guy? I think he is. Like, oh, is there a tournament going on? How do I get in on this? I'm like, you just answered your own question, fuckface. Yes, the tournament's going on. You missed out on registration.
You know where we started getting people watching was the Street Fighter.
Street
'Cause we're
Fighter.
like, yeah, and you know what's
That's
funny?
what happened.
And the Street Fighter had no sound, so all they could hear was like, because it's quiet back there, I'll just hear us all going, "Ah!"
I think that's all you would have heard anyway. Flap, motherfucker, flap!
It was the only
left.
thing
No,
on the
no,
video that I
no,
could
no,
pick
no.
up was
left, right,
Oh,
back,
everyone's
back,
playing
back,
Blanca.
back. What the fuck does that mean?
Screaming at Mark, get some distance!
Andrew, I didn't.
Yeah, get some distance. Get away from him. But I'm a big target. I'm B Honda.
Stop
Leave me alone. Stop looking at me.
Turn into a big,
Oh,
like,
there may not have been
Bill
beers.
slap fest.
There may not have been beers and drinks flowing at Hyperspace, but we certainly made up for that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
how?
Jeez, 'cause
Some of us
Sorry,
more than
folks. We
others.
talked about this last week too,
Yeah.
but it's gonna happen
I
again.
know. We're residual still.
that was the Airbnb after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was the B&B.
Yep,
We didn't make it back to Zyla's, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was an air
Yep.
beer.
Oh, that's
beer
right.
and
We went for the
booze.
wings.
Beer
Yeah, we
and
went to the
booze.
wings
Oh,
place,
wings.
which was
Yeah.
delicious. That was so good. Watch Leo be a
Yum, yum,
beast
yum.
eating those
Yes.
fucking
Thank
hot
you,
wings.
yes.
Yeah.
Hotter and hot.
The legendary cheek sneak. The funniest two words I heard all night, and it still makes me tear up.
I'm still not going
I
to
haven't-
forgive Leo for like standing in the doorway of the house and then dropping ass like, in the doorway.
I know.
Like, we all had to walk through his crop
And
dust.
I'm like, oh no, it's begun already.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, once someone breaks that ice, oh god.
Yeah.
It's like on a road
Open
trip.
up the door.
That's right. That's when you know you're in for a good time.
I think we got
Door
a
is
fart
open.
per chicken wing.
So I heard last week's show, and I want to say, of all the farts I was blamed for, at least one of them was not mine. At least one of them was not mine.
There was a second cheek sneak.
People are
more
like
successful
laughing at Leo
one.
and like letting it go, and then walking away, and just being like,
It was a ninja fart.
So too bad, Leo. You're getting blamed for them all from now on.
Oh, I
Now you go from now on.
The best.
Even when you're not around,
Andrew
like,
didn't
whoa,
miss
is
a
Leo
beat
here?
with the cheek sneak. We were sitting right behind. We were sitting a little ways, and we both saw it at the same time.
he leaned over at Griffin, and he aimed that shit,
Fired it.
and just like ripped it on that
You-
wooden bench.
you know how to pick your
It was the
targets, I
wooden
guess.
bench that gave you away, dude.
And the word sorry doesn't
Yeah.
make the smell go
There was a
away.
shift in weight and then a shift back.
I wonder why I fell off that bench.
You blew Andrew across the room on the little.
Andrew was sitting on a chair
You may
with
have
Leo.
swiped the wrong direction after that one.
Yeah. Well, I spray equally. Like I'll try and get the left, right, up and down. Like do them all equally.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Griffin was the
You know,
first target. Yeah.
Equal opportunity farther.
Exactly.
You know what?
Equal opportunity.
Dude, you must have been really hard in your underwear that weekend.
It was a complete blowout.
So, did you melt the toilet in the hotel room or what?
Oh yeah, the lava. We were talking about that one.
The lava. The floor is lava.
The maid, yeah. Housekeeping came in.
He leaves a sorry note on top of the porcelain.
It's just a melted slag.
Yeah.
Housekeeping came in.
Sorry
Took
about
one
that.
look and said, "Oh, I got to get a bigger mop," and came back in a couple minutes later. Yeah.
I mean, it's like it reached the ceiling.
We're gonna have to put you in another room.
Wait, that
so,
was Jack's story.
oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
So I missed last week's. I just want to, thank everyone for hosting a great event. It was.
Proceed.
You got the pass from Jim Modini. He actually cut one of his shit short.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Just, just to hear what you said.
It's a
Oh,
little early in the night.
Stop
That's why.
Yeah.
I had a blast. It was a great time. I'm sorry.
He was in
couldn't
the middle
join-
of a sentence.
I couldn't join last week, so I was in Denver for the eclipse on Monday, and my cousin and her boyfriend happened to be there. They were in Wyoming, and they left Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is like I think 275 miles outside of Denver at 3 p.m. for 11:45 flight. 16 hours later, they got to the Denver airport because of all the traffic for that fucking eclipse,
wow,
which was
yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
yeah.
So I ended up spending all day with them on Tuesday, which the eclipse was, yeah.
I
Unless-
did not get it at all. It's just like, I mean, people were flying in from Europe to come here to go to the mountains in Denver, and outside of Denver. And just like the moon is closer to us than the sun. So at some point, the moon's going to go in front of the sun. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
There are people that chase those.
I'm just being a facetious twat. I know that.
No,
I
it
don't-
was horrible.
So
It was-
Griffin, have you ever actually been through a total eclipse? Actually, in totality, 100% goes night. You can see stars, all that shit.
I mean, I think I must have at some point. I mean, I'm 1,000 years old, so.
It hasn't happened in the U.S.
I
for
must
99
say, you look
years.
pretty good for being 1,000.
Thanks, buddy.
A total eclipse hasn't happened in the U.S. for 99 years.
I'll meet you at the mine shaft. So no, it's all right. I'm just being a dick, but you know.
That's cool. I mean, I just think it is a very special moment. But the thing is that like, I think that like people were traveling to the locations and they were very scattered. But like, it really is like a 10, 15-minute event, and then everyone fucking leaves at the same time.
Yeah.
And so people run into horrendous traffic.
The flight prices for us for our tournament. So
just because of the well, and we were like 92% totality, which is like basically like going outside is like putting a pair of sunglasses on. It was like kind of cool, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
If I had flown out there just for that event, I would have been.
You would have been disappointed.
Upset. Yeah, exactly.
Sad.
I mean, really 90. Yeah. I had friends who traveled
Fake news.
to totality, and they were blown away by it. Like they were like kind of like borderline. They want to travel after and go see the next one in South America. I think is the next closest one to here, like next year, a couple years away. So anyway.
Everyone's got their thing.
They were very touched by it, so that's cool.
Some people like collecting My Little Ponies. So.
No, it's true. Mechanical bulls were very popular at one point.
Some people like collecting big stupid arcades. They break half the time and take up too much space in your house.
Yeah, all right.
Pretty much.
Hey, Jack, nice shirt.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Pick that up at CAX.
The Bill Murray.
Yeah.
That's a great. I love that shirt. I gotta get that from this old game. Yeah, that's a great
For sure.
shirt. Or the not the control panel. What the hell that's called?
Marquee.
Marquee. Yeah.
Marquee. Yeah. Let's go.
Sorry,
It's too early for midnight.
Save the clock tower. Oh.
I was like, that sounds like a sound effect gone wrong. What's happening? What's happening?
That's annoying.
What's happening?
What is this?
Yeah, what is this?
Don't forget to take a flyer.
Oh, nice.
What is this?
I finally broke down and posted that on Clav, but that was in the what thread was that?
Do you like John's?
Oh,
video?
that was the generic like, and everyone just like shat on him.
Oh.
Because he's like, I can't stand this, and everyone's like, don't watch it.
It's really simple.
Yeah.
You're the reason why like the FCC exists is people like you who bitch about shit like that. So shut the fuck up and go away. Change the channel. Turn it off.
Yeah.
The internet is full of shit you don't want to watch. Don't watch it.
Like this show.
Exactly. Shut this shit off.
Which is
why we've recently lost 3 viewers.
Don't you people have homes?
Yeah. Don't you people have homes? Wait, what's that?
Yeah,
Is that from
Ferris
Caddyshack? No.
Ferris
The internet is full of all kinds of filthy things. Just ask Griffin.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh no, that is Caddyshack, where he says, "Don't you people have homes?" And when he comes into the back of the doctors, and they're like playing cards.
Right.
So I remember years ago, like back when I was like 8 years old, there was a TV show. It was called Why Don't You, and it was on BBC in the UK. And it was a kids show, like educational, and cartoons, all that kind of stuff. And but there was a song that was like burned into my brain, and it was all about going outside and turning off the TV. But the show was on the TV. I remember as a 6-year-old kid thinking, this doesn't seem right.
That's very British.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you, you racist.
We used to have shit like that on Saturday morning cartoons. We used to have Time for Timer. You'd be like, go outside and run around, have fun with your friends, or go
Like,
make
did
a
they just
snack
wait for
with
you to
juice
do it?
instead of eating popsicles. I don't know.
Listen, I
It was
remember
like
the
health
song. Like,
food stuff.
I remember the song. It was like, why don't you just switch off your television set, go out and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, turning off, it's no good for me. Why don't you, I was like,
No, we didn't
why?
have that.
Turn the TV off. I can't see your show. What's going on? I'm very confused right now.
It was BBC though, right? So it was government funded, so they didn't fucking care.
Yeah. Propaganda, man.
We have
That's
that
what it
on
was.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
Big shit.
20 kids watching the show, go outside right after the show ends, and then go out and play. But not not a moment sooner. Yeah.
Yeah, like 10
Drunk
o'clock.
with no pants
Go
on.
look at the sun for a while.
Yeah.
Burn out your eyeballs. I can't believe I saw YouTube videos of people trying to do that. That was so stupid.
What, your president?
Yeah.
Not my president.
Speaking of our president, what are we going to do about rockets being launched over Hawaii? Or no, over Japan, I mean. That's
Like
pretty
Japan
crazy.
problem.
He's pretty much not a
Over
president.
where? Oh, sorry. Over where they flying over?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's
Where are
not.
the rockets? Where are the rockets?
World police. What are you talking
Somebody,
about?
somebody get Jim drunk.
So I watched this YouTube channel called something in Japan, or I forget, but he always like, what's that?
What's it called?
Sorry.
Big
Where are the
Cops
rockets
on
launched again?
No, it's not that. But anyway, he's like sleeping in the middle of the night, and he hears like the sirens go off because he's a teacher from the UK, and he went to Japan to teach English, and he's been over there, and he's been filming how different the culture is over in Japan. But anyway, so he's sleeping, and he hears the sirens. Yeah, there you go. He hears the sirens go off, and he starts filming himself. He's like, "Oh my God, North Korea just launched missiles, and they're right over our head."
Wow.
It's so weird. I'm like, how scary is that? You're like, what if they malfunction? They go through buildings and shit, you know, or detonate, or I don't know what's in them. Who knows? It's like some scary shit.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do about it? No, I was joking.
Yeah, I know. Let's see who hasn't gone yet with our question. We got Orange Whip. We got.
I hope they can't
the
reach the
arcade
East
buffet.
Coast, but yeah.
I want to know, Andrew, what was the name of the arcade you were talking about?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's right over that.
I really actually
I just
how
I
my
just brought
face
it
got
up.
to
I
go
thought it
like
was pretty
3
crazy.
times tonight. It was pretty awesome. So actually, I had two things to say. So okay, so real quick to answer your question, so that arcade was a Tilt. In the mall. But the arcade that I went to the most, that I spent really the most time and frankly money in, was the one in high school that I lived in, pretty much. That one, I don't even remember the name of it because like it changed hands so many times. It was a T-shirt shop, like half of it was a T-shirt shop, and the backside was an arcade. And then at some point, the whole thing was an arcade. And then at some point, laser tag became cool, so they cut the arcade in half and they put the arcade up front and laser tag out back. And no one ever played laser tag, but we all played the games. And then they gave up that, and then the whole thing was an arcade. So it went through a lot of iterations. I don't ever remember it having a specific name, but it was downtown Aspen. Now I'm pretty sure it's a nightclub or a brothel. I don't know, like you guys were saying. Some place where you can buy a lot of cocaine or whatever the new hot drug the kids are doing nowadays are.
That's Game of Thrones when you say a brothel.
Brothel.
No!
It's full of busted.
Cocaine in a can, baby.
If it's in Denver, it's got to be a weed store. So.
No. So that was up in Aspen. I grew up in the mountains.
Oh.
Just Denver now. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, they actually had for being up in the mountains. 150 games would fit probably in half of the arcade space. It was a big space.
Wow.
Maybe closer to 100. Just trying to picture Grinkers with like 150, 200 games. It's probably like half that space. So, you know, good size, 100, 7,500 games. And then when they had both sides of it, it was gigantic. And they had, I remember playing, Spy Hunter Cockpit there, Star Wars Cockpit, 6-player X-Men. And this is down in the basement. So I have no fucking clue how they got this shit down there. I think we had a theory at some point that maybe they had like a freight elevator in the back of the place that was able to, from the alley.
NCIS. How does Gibbs get the boat out of his fucking basement?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Magic. They had
All
gigantic games down there, so I have no idea how that worked out. But yeah. And if you ever were in Aspen and you were a kid in the 80s and 90s especially, you would have known of this place, and I was probably there.
Damn, I want to go back in time.
It's like,
You're gonna need 1.21 gigawatts.
that's where I learned how to play Forgotten Worlds. That we had Forgotten Worlds there. That's where I played that. Rastan was where I learned how to play that. Street Fighter. That's where I learned how to play Street Fighter. Starting with the World Warrior. Anyway.
21 gigawatts!
Not a very exciting story. I'm sure it's like a bar now, because like everything in Aspen's like a bar. It's like right downtown. I mean, that real estate's insanely expensive nowadays.
Beer.
So who hasn't gone? Carrie, you went, Gary. Jim went.
I haven't gone yet.
Joel went.
I haven't.
Mark went.
Brad and Buffett.
Joel, you
Brad
did not go?
Buffett.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, Joel. There you go. I'm sorry.
All
I
right, Buffett it is. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
That was not from that was just me reading left to right of the people I can read.
You're assholes.
So yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get it in because it's almost 9. Hurry up.
The UK.
You have 4 minutes.
You gotta go to bed, old man.
We didn't have a lot of arcade machines and stuff there because I mean, obviously everything was made in the States. So for arcade machines to get over to the UK, it was sort of limited and pretty small town that I grew up in. So, but there was one arcade, and it was literally down by the river. And
It was just a hoop, and everybody had sticks, and you just rolled it back and forth. That was
it
great.
was.
Somebody.
It was actually.
I mean, sound effects.
And you push the Pac-Man shaped rock around and collect all the little rocks.
Yeah.
And there's a black guy on the side with making the sound effects.
No, we didn't. We don't have that.
No, everybody wiggled their ear to make a waka 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 sound.
Now the arcade was called the Slippery Cocksocket, and
Jesus.
I didn't think about it much at the time as a kid, you know.
which is like British for the mine shaft, right?
Right, exactly. I think it might have been the same owner. Obviously, a multinational conglomerate.
Yeah.
But actually, no. It was a small arcade. It had a little snack bar and stuff in it, and it was down by the River Dee, which runs through the city of Chester, where I was born. But thinking back, they had some pretty kick-ass games in that arcade. They had the full motion Space Harrier in there, which was, I mean, still that's my Grail machine. But I mean, they're like hen's teeth here in the States. I think there's actually more of them in Europe.
Yeah.
But
So
they
that
go
turn
for
of
insane.
phrase.
What's that?
Those that turn of phrase, by the way. Hen's teeth.
What?
Oh, what?
I'm completely lost.
You said rare like a hen's tooth or something like that?
Rare is hen's teeth, which is also as rare here as sorry, never mind.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I couldn't understand your American accent.
Sorry, it was my problem, my fault for not understanding your English colloquialism. So.
Oh yeah. All right. You know, well, this is how wars start. What did you say about my mother? Muhammad Fatwa Jihad.
Of this last 2 listeners.
Whatever, just follow.
We just got pulled from YouTube.
Yeah, Mark, we cannot define success by how many listeners we have because
It was probably the rocket
we'll
comment.
never be successful.
Oh yeah, that's what did it. The rocket comment. Yeah.
Candy is dandy, but glitter is quicker.
I gotta keep it on topic. I'm sorry.
But other games we had in that arcade, no surprise, was Paperboy. Which is where I got my addiction from. We had Ghosts and Goblins. We had Tecmo Soccer, which you don't see very often. So it was kind of like, obviously, the soccer version of the top-down sort of cocktail football game with the spinning balls. Tecon or Tecmo. I haven't seen that over here. Probably wasn't very popular.
Soccer. Did they actually call it soccer there?
No, Tecmo football. Because it's football, you kick a ball with your foot. I don't want to.
Yes.
Griffin,
And then, what else? What else? Atari Warriors.
Did that
Atari
arcade?
Warriors, Gauntlets.
Did that arcade ever have the motion? You know, like you said, Space Harrier has like that motion seat movement thing. Did they have the same sort of thing, but like for Galaxy Force? Did they ever have that?
No, we had Outrun. We had full motion Outrun and full motion Space Harrier. They were the two. main ones in there. Yeah, and that's all I can remember. I mean, there were obviously other games in there, but I didn't really play them much. And I didn't have any money. I mean, I was like, I literally went to the arcades to watch other people play because I didn't have any money at all. And then whenever I did have money, I would spend it on Outrun and Paperboy. They were the two games. I actually did go back and sort of do a bit of a Google Street View thing a couple of years ago to try and see what was going on at that arcade. And it's just like a gift shop, tchotchke place now because, again, it's right down on the river there. And it's a big tourist spot, so they're just selling all of that, that kind of junk. But we always used to go there on our BMXs, and we do a lot of sweet jumps and bunny hops on the way.
Nice.
Oh,
Did you like the extended wheelie where you're like standing up pedaling for like a whole block?
Oh, you'd always have your buddy on the pegs on the back.
Oh, there we go.
There's always that one guy who he had a flat tire and he never got around to fixing it. So you always have to give him a ride on your pegs. But I had the sweet red anodized pegs.
Ooh, nice.
Love those pegs. Oh yeah.
It gets all the chicks.
Yeah. Maybe. But then and then I remember one day I left my bike outside. And you know that the crossbar pads?
Actually,
the crossbar Velcro pads?
Yep.
Someone stole them. Someone stole my pads, man.
Damn them.
Kind of dick does that.
Were they like red and white checkerboard or?
Were they on CW bars?
Black.
Ooh.
I had a white BMX rally with black mags and black pads.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was like the zebra of BMXs. And that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was the place. But I mean, we just didn't have a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, shit, we didn't even get a McDonald's there until like 1986. So that was the first time McDonald's opened in good old Chester. But if you ever want to see Chester, go and look it up on Google. It's actually a pretty amazing, beautiful place. Of course, I didn't appreciate it because I was a kid and you don't fucking care about interesting things like the fact that you were born in a Roman fortress. Now I go back and look at it, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's pretty badass. But you just hate that shit when you were younger. But yeah,
Nice.
That was good.
It's so random.
So has anyone not gone? Buffett hasn't gone.
I don't even know what the question is.
Did Orange Rip go?
I'm passing it to the buffet.
Somebody tell me what the question is. I never could hear what it was.
For fuck's sake, Buffett!
What are y'all doing here?
It's not in the email. I can't read it and think about it.
A candle back.
All right, so he's been on here with us for over an hour. And hasn't listened to shit, apparently.
Get nothing.
That doesn't mean I'm not doing other things while I'm listening.
Give us a quick summary of what you remember over the last hour.
So Jimbo, at this point, you really need the Breakfast Club. Just answer the question.
Just said, no, I never did it. Yeah, I know.
It's because this is for I gotta go for a vodka break.
It's not a pee break. It's a vodka break.
No, it's far more important.
Dude, the bar is
Damn it.
right there.
Damn it! I thought I had everything covered. There's leave it every show. There's one sound I just don't have. I just can't please anyone.
Just answer the question.
Just answer the question. You didn't answer the question.
I know that.
Rocket science. Just say yeah, and we'll move on.
If I knew what it was, I would answer.
So
my favorite planet's the sun.
Buffett, your favorite arcade when you're a kid, what was it and what is it now?
What was your daddy?
My answer is going to be real quick and sweet. Didn't have one, never went to one.
All right.
And they didn't have a GA+3 or Galaga, whatever?
Couldn't tell you. I'd never been into an arcade till the about 92, 93, 94. I didn't have any money to go and no friends. Yeah, mom and pop never took me. So yeah, no, I'd never been in one. Till the was
hard for you.
Come my friend, somebody that worked for one. That's the only reason we went to that one.
Ah.
Oh yeah, so I played Daytona for like an hour or something straight. And he just kept ringing in the credits, which was nice. So we just sat there and played Daytona. I think it was Daytona. Other than that, the only other arcade I'd ever been into when I was younger was just what was in the skating rink. But I never went over to them, or I just watched them because I didn't have any money, so I never played it.
Taboo.
I fucking love the skating rink. That's a great memory.
Oh, that's one. That's definitely like one of my 4.
Yeah,
that's what the skating rink is. What made me want Gyrus because I watched it there a lot.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's
track mode sounds.
Yeah, well, all I could see was the screen and the things going around in a circle.
Did you pretend to play though?
So pretty.
Yeah, that was it. So, between that and the cocktail table Pac-Man that they had there, that everybody used as a table and never played it. So I just watched the attract screen a lot.
Dreamed of the day when you could play.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's about the only arcade I could actually tell you I've ever been in was whatever was at the skating rink randomly placed around. That was it. So, and only went there, a couple times a year, so it wasn't very often. So, and that was we only went for like school events. That's about the only time.
Is the skating rink still there, or what is it now?
Wow.
No, well, 2 of them are gone. One of the ones I didn't go to as a kid very often is still there. One got turned into an auction house. One got turned into a used car dealership. I can't remember what they did to the third one, and the only one I remember that's still there is still a skating rink. So, yeah. So and they were all anywhere from 10 to 30 miles away from each other. So, yeah, it was all over. But the only ones I ever went to, like I said, school function was the biggest thing because we didn't have to pay. We just showed up and you got your skates and, you had fun because it was a school, sponsored for elementary school or middle school. And, yeah, we just went there as kids for an event and had fun until we were all hurt and crying, and then we all went home.
That's usually the sign of a successful field trip. Well, all the children have cried. We can get on the bus now.
Or a good third date.
I've never left the skating rink without having at least 2 blisters per foot.
Oh boy!
Really not asking for the right size.
Those are my memories of the arcade.
What's he gonna say? Oh.
No, you just brought up like a total memory from my childhood. Like my family used to go to the skating rink like every Saturday night. Like that was like our thing. So yeah, skating was huge.
That's cool.
All right, everyone, couples only. Hold hands.
Yeah, that was totally like get up the
roller or ice.
Roller.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Gay.
I always liked the one game. It was they called it Four Corners. they had the four corners numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and when the music stopped, you had to go to the corner, and then the DJ, and then the DJ would randomly call it a number, and those people were out, and then the last. It'd go down to the last person got a prize or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I won a hot dog once, so it was pretty exciting.
Came right out of his pants.
Yeah, I remember they did the limbo all.
I had to go into this back room. It was really dark.
That's where you had to get the hot dog, huh? It's going to taste sort of like mustard, but it might be a little slimier than that.
I don't like mustard. Too bad.
And that's where Jimbo became a man.
Yeah. Jimbo had flashbacks to that when he was getting pounded into the arcade in the pinball machine.
Oh gosh!
This is how you play this game.
So that's why he was looking at us, wondering where the hot dog was.
It's all coming back to me.
With his eyes rolling back in his head. Like,
There it is.
he looked like a rag doll. In the front. Of, like, that had to be like 600 pounds of man behind him.
Yeah, he had about damn near 600 pounds of thrust.
It was that pinball machine didn't fly.
The second one was definitely a lot more momentum than the first one. The first thrust.
Tilt.
Did you find a plunger?
I'm just such a good sport. That's all.
You practically volunteered for that, though. You were.
Oh, he did volunteer for it.
Oh yeah, I did.
You were presenting.
Yeah.
All right, we gained a listener.
You can't find success that way, Mock. Don't do it. It's just you're going to be in a bad place. You're just going to end up in a bad place that way. Don't go there.
I did stick out my cute butt.
I want to know.
What do you want to know, Buffett?
Which one of y'all logged on with another account? That's how we got another.
Nice. We're trying to make Steve feel better.
What sort of hooters you got there?
Jim.
I just wanted to play it.
Did any of you alcoholics get this in the mail?
Did you not see my fucking post?
No.
Yeah, right here, right here.
There it is.
See that?
Gary, did you get one of these?
No.
I did not get one of those.
There were 4 thrusts in that one.
Yeah. I was probably filming that. Like, Gak thrust his phone into my hand.
You know what's so funny is I knew exactly what Gak was gonna do when he goes in there. Can you hold
He gets the camera ready. Yeah.
I'm all, Andrew, get this.
Yeah, I know exactly what Gak's gonna do.
But I was a good sport. I'm like, how do you play this game?
I don't have to see it in slow motion.
Look at this shitty
Smiling about it the whole time.
Look at that smile. Can we play that back one more
Jim's
time?
face looks all like ragged at the end.
One more try. Oh, no.
Jimbo did have a big
Face
smile.
at the end.
Well, I got a good happy ending.
Yeah.
Jack
Like you got a
on the YouTube
Actually, it was more of a relief. It was like, thank God it's over.
Jack just said on the YouTube chat that I should put it on a loop as a gift.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Yes.
You have to sign a motto release.
That's the problem when filming stuff.
Yeah.
Almost even that drunk.
So, Mock, by the way, this reminded me, like we talk about, we always joke about having sponsors for our show.
And this doesn't have an expiration date, I don't think, does it?
I was going to say another
August
sponsor.
31st.
I'm going to recommend we really need to get a second sponsor also.
That's August 31st. I posted it in Slack like yesterday. I'm like, if you guys haven't done this, you should do it.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the expiration on it?
Yeah, post
It says it on the site. Type in the website address. It's never or Amazon.never2hungover.com.
But this just has a promo code though, it's just for an Amazon order.
Yeah,
It's 25% off, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
but there's a code. There's a code for it. And it's
off.
not for the website. It's for the Amazon Direct.
So is that actually mailed to your house?
Yep.
Yeah.
My wife goes, "Is this for you?"
And it went to Andrew's
Turn,
work.
No, it's
flip
for
it around.
Taylor. Taylor wanted it.
There we go.
Yeah, I love that picture. That picture is fucking awesome.
Okay, so plug in.
Nothing says America like never too hungover.
Plug in your email address.
Bud Light.
Plug in your email address. It'll take you to the site, and it's just it
does say
see right down there.
31st. Yeah, I saw it.
Their slogan should just be "Shit works."
Wait, we need our logo scrolling at the bottom there. They got all the gas stations and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Need the Arcade Hangout logo scrolling.
Don't knock until you've tried it.
Yeah.
Weekly.
We talk about them every show, just about.
Every good show.
So I was gonna.
I know because I'm out of it.
Did we ever?
A second sponsor we really need to work on, and what brought this up was it's been like 100, 110 degrees here this last week where I'm at. and so hot yesterday. I was moving the game around and stuff, and
naked.
I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna get some of this today. So, Andrew, we got another sponsor. We need.
Oh.
Oh man, that stuff does wonders.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I had like a ton of pep in my step after that.
Tell me that didn't change your fucking life.
It did, absolutely. I'm a firm believer now.
It's like having a new girlfriend.
Never knew this was a thing.
And dude, I'm so glad you went straight for the green. It's like,
Take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That shit is.
Somehow we need to, combine these two as a
Never two sweaties.
Yeah.
It'd be like dropping the what is it, the Alto or those mints in a thing of
And a
Coke.
soda machine, yeah.
Yeah.
Mentos and a diet soda.
Musty.
There's definitely.
Nasty.
Wait. There's definitely a connection between Never Too Hungover, Richard Simmons Leotard, and then Gold Bomb Powder. There is.
There is
There goes our sponsorship again.
Connect.
And another viewer.
Yeah, so much for another clip to use.
Damn it, Richard Simmons isn't watching us anymore.
Okay, but has anyone actually reached out to like Never Two?
Yeah, did we get like a Xerox
Brad
copy back saying "fuck you guys"?
The silver guy reached out to them.
You watch
the guy doesn't drink. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I think if you told them you were doing like a big event up at this arcade and there's going to be like 100+ people there,
drinking,
they might ship out a case or something.
I had all.
Well, let's
that
be honest.
I
How
wrote
much money have we spent on that shit between the 9 of us?
Oh yeah,
or whatever. Yeah,
a few hundred at least.
Oh, easy.
No, we're
more
over
than that.
Yeah.
Come on.
12 billion.
It's been going on for well over a year.
Tried it a couple times.
Those guys might ship straight out to Grinkers. That'd be funny.
That would be actually. We'd love to have like some bikini Never Too
Yeah, Never Too Hungry.
They should just have like a little booth.
Just saying.
Got them on the little.
They could have a
booth.
They just have a booth.
And the holsters.
Take pictures of them.
They do go for $10 a shot.
Dude, we could put Orange Whip and Steve in a booth.
Sexy bikinis.
In a bikini.
Yeah, one bikini. Both in one bikini.
If they sent us like 10 cases, we could just sell out like
You can do Never Too Hungover shots.
Yes, that's what they are. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I mean with booze.
It's like Steve from Grinkers and Orange Whip just sitting there fucking selling this shit.
In one bikini.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sharing the same bikini.
Never too clean.
Mouth.
Just remember to attach the suspenders,
boy.
So we'll provide our own bikinis, and
that'd be cool if they have it like in bulk, like in a shot pour, and you just pour it in the shot glasses.
I think they do have like
Like
a
a
larger
keg.
size of one of them.
A keg.
Yeah. Bring me.
It's not a full bar there. It's not a full bar there, otherwise we'd be doing pancake shots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different liquor license for that.
Yep.
Yep.
That doesn't mean we can't show up a little lubricated.
Yeah, do them off campus.
Just a little, yeah.
Steve just said
Grinkers is canceled.
Quiet.
Well,
he whispers so we can't hear him.
I'm just saying,
you'll have at least 3 people show up, though.
Yeah.
Whisper it next time.
I think we should actually talk about the outage we had at the website this week.
Hey, isn't it past your bedtime?
Wait, hold on. Everybody gets to go.
Brad's got to go, right?
Yeah.
One more.
Brad who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The one that's usually just a logo on this.
Andrew, what'd you think of our TSA security photo?
I was fucking crying. Who said that?
Orange Whip, we wish you were there.
It was fucking Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that Joel was in the background.
All right, Orange Whip, go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Really easy. It was called Honeybee, and it was right beside
It's cute.
a pizza place that every sports team from the early 70s would go to for all their things and all their birthday parties. It was called Carmen's Pizza King. And eventually, obviously, one day when the arcades took off, somebody opened up an arcade right beside it to get all the people going from the pizza place to the arcade. The two games I remember there the most was track and field, and I remember going up to it and for the first time and seeing all the different implements that people had left there for people to play with. So like a comb was sitting there. There were some pencils with rubber bands on them.
So you saw it all.
And there was a shaving cream top.
What?
Like an aerosol can top. And actually, that's what I ended up using all the time was just the top
the
of
Barbacil?
Yeah, just like the plastic top of it because they were flexible if you pushed on it. So it
Apparently,
actually
what you're saying, it's like they came from a barber shop.
Yeah, really. Well,
it seems to be like the running theme behind like the tools you would use.
No, that's the quartet you're thinking of.
Oh, right. Yeah, those are barbershop.
I also remember when they wheeled in Dragon's Lair.
You went what?
When they wheeled in Dragon's Lair, I totally remember that day. And I remember going, what the fuck? It's 50 cents?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, everybody said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was in a little strip mall. It's actually not even 5 minutes from where I live right now. The pizza place, it turned into an Indian restaurant because we have a gazillion of them here. And it's still the same restaurant since the day that it turned over in the probably early to mid 80s. And actually, it used to have
you're off your game.
It used to have a stage with a fireplace and these like really rustic picnic tables with benches, and all of that stuff is still in there. So the fireplace is still there, the stage is still there, all the benches are still there. The arcade that was beside it is an Indian clothing store, like a women's clothing store.
I had to get one of them, but then I still hit the wrong song first. First to start out with Annie.
I keep telling you how much food and stuff we have around here, and that's what's in that location.
I have to repeat what Jack Lick wrote. Cade for curry.
For curry.
Curry Cade.
Actually, that could be. That might get a lot of people coming.
That could be British too.
Yeah, it could be better than something else.
Brit? Did somebody say British?
I'll just leave it here for a while.
On loop.
I like Chinese. Like Chinese.
The only
That's right, folks. This is the non-PC show.
All right, we've reached the second half of our show.
The 9:30 segment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
We're not responsible for anything that is said at this point forward.
We go from G to X in a blink of an eye.
You're easily offended. Please fucking get out of here.
There is no
Sure, we
filter on
don't
this
start
show.
at G.
Well, it's not really a show.
No, we don't.
No.
I mean, we already talked about like
not a show.
German. What was that? The German 9 fucking
Mine shaft. Yeah.
9. No more shaft.
Now we are going to the mine shaft.
This is mine shaft.
I had a three-way shaft in the video earlier, so you know.
Whoa.
No.
Would you like some sex in the pooper?
Fuck you!
I don't know, it might be a little bit to Norsk that actually. It's right up with did you fart in my sauna? You know, that's
that was a little bit Scandinavian.
Yeah, my accents are moving around a little bit there. So I'll work on it. I'll work on my big gay German accent.
I don't know if the Swedes are so much into that kind of stuff.
Did you fart in my Volvo?
You sound like Jamie Lee Curtis in fucking Trading Places.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yep.
Anywho.
Oh, good night. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do this every week. Believe it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So did anyone pick up any fucking arcade games this week? Oh, somebody might have.
Who?
Go for it, Carrie.
Bump that
A couple
and
people did.
Yeah. I picked up one.
All right.
All right.
What did you pick up?
All right,
Yeah,
Buffett.
let's hear about yours.
We've only heard.
Well, he's 3 sheets to the wind.
Dog, I need food.
That's it. But no, it's not real sought after, but I picked up a Disco 79. Y'all know what that is?
No.
I think I hear about that.
Yeah, the Mock's good. He's in that world more than he is in the arcade world.
You get those at Spencer Gifts?
So,
Yeah.
but no, it's a cocktail table pinball machine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those little dudes.
Cockball.
Yeah, made
It's a
by
cocktail,
Apple.
yeah.
It's sort of
Made by
like
who?
stop sign shaped a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, almost octagonal shape. Yeah.
Those are trippy. Those were 70s looking.
Yeah.
Did they have a good flyer for one of those? I'm picturing, the creepy 70s flyer with the like the whole family playing it in the living room or something.
And everyone's wearing bell-bottom pants.
Yeah.
With puke mustard colored pants.
All right. Is it working, Mike, or like what's the story with it?
Yeah, well, it partially does work. One of the drop targets is broken. The linkages and stuff are all broken, and the target itself is broken where it connects and hinges. And then one or two of the pop bumpers don't work. The two top left and right pop bumpers don't work. Most of the rollovers work. The flippers needed a little adjustment. They work. I think it's got a couple improper coils in it underneath. That's why some of them aren't working correctly. There's 2 transistors on the driver board are not original, so they were replaced at one time. I don't know what they run. I can't find a manual for it, not online, that is legible, so I can actually look at how all the wiring and stuff goes.
So frustrating.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's hard to find an Allied Leisure, manual. It covers like 5 different games, so it shouldn't be terribly hard, but you know how that goes, those oddball companies. Let's see, it needs all new rubber, it needs cleaned up. I got to get some new transistors for the board. I want to put on the ones that are supposed to be on there, not a set. One of them was an NTE that was rigged on there, and then the other one I can't remember what it was. So I've reflowed a lot of the driver board already. It's only got like one or two boards in it, so I've reflowed the most of all the driver board, replaced all but one cap on the driver board.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got to the power supply board yet. I've been looking up some parts and stuff for it, but I'm out of money, so I can't afford them right now. But I need, like I said, the pop bumper stuff, the drop target stuff, and like I said, a couple linkages here and there, and I think one possible assembly for one of the pop bumpers. I can't remember, but you can play it. It just doesn't play real well. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
that's
so
cool.
It'll be it's cool. It'll be a project for another time.
So it's a single player, one side kind of thing. It's not like the Tron pin cocktail thing where it's like 2 players against each other. It's
it's not like the Joust pin.
Yeah, or Joust. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Joust. Yeah, no. It's one player. I think you can bring in a 2-player game, but it's only one player, at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, the playfield's not all that big, but the game is not that big, but it is genuinely, interesting. There we go. That's not a good
All right, we'll put that up every time you talk.
Right.
No, that's his live feed. He just sits. He stands very still during the show.
Yeah.
All right,
He's a ventriloquist.
You hear the live feed, and then someone doing like Adam's like mouth thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, man, there's a flashback.
Oh man, it's been a long time since we've done the masking stuff.
We haven't had Adam on here in like a year and a half.
That used to be the thing before I had these stupid sounds. I would just play with the webcam
have, like,
filters,
the
like an alien or
face.
something, or the baby face.
Yeah.
We're all wearing the stupid Google hats and
Right.
Yeah.
beards and shit.
Man, that was in our infancy. Those are the days.
But
Shut all that shit
What
down.
episode is this, by the way? Are we getting close to 100?
Oh, we forgot to say, huh?
91.
something like that. But
Yeah, 91.
Well, we're not
episode-
gonna hit 100 at Green.
I was thinking the same thing, Andrew.
Unless we do a bunch of in between week shows to make that happen. That's
But, you know,
Should we talk a little bit about Grinkers?
we
About
absolutely definitely should.
I think we should.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than a little. I think we should just talk about it.
and the Nat side tournament and those bits and pieces. Do we have anything to talk about yet?
Well, I mean, I think it is like, you know, so Chris and I, like, shit, and the whole group, we've been talking about wanting to do a tournament of some kind, a goofball tournament. Usually it's been involving drinking
yeah,
at Grinkers for like the last 3-4 years now.
yeah.
So
Drinking?
They're talking about doing like
Not us.
I think it started with a one-handed because you were doing it with your son.
Yeah.
The one-handed
right.
super sprint.
That was the Grinkfest 2. We did that. You, me, and Steve. There were
That's
three
right.
of us.
We
actually
did
playing.
play actually that game.
That was
Yeah.
my. That was the beginning of my crazy day.
we were that shit. Oh, that's
That was
you.
that day. Yes, you.
You.
Fuck you. You
Fuck
fucking
you.
hat. But,
Everyone needs beer helmets like I have.
But even before that, didn't you play like Time Pilot without pressing the fire button? Like stuff like
I
that?
talked about wanting to do that. Like I've done that with my son. We talked about trying to do a silly stuff like that a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, and last year, you know, it just never happened. So I think this year, you know, we're doing
into
it.
drinking games, like trying to make it like, all right, so if you fuck up, you got to take a shot or like pound a beer, and then you got to still play or something like that. There was like, we never really figured out the rules.
Right. Yeah.
But booze was always involved in our good games, which I think is the genesis for like eventually what now we've turned into this not a tournament thing.
Right.
Well,
and
if
how do you play these games in a weird way?
If we do it the next time we do it at Denver, we can still introduce new ideas because we were just exploring. It was just scratching the surface. There can be drinking things like we can really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we've got tons of opportunities to do some amazing. Yeah.
I need to actually. It's funny because
Is everyone out there now?
just going through. I found the two
I had
I'm
to
gonna get printed.
I used mine on Wacko when I was trying to fucking pick that game. Let's see.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like a Leatherman, you know.
It's like,
Get a hip holster for it.
There's a Swiss Army knife inside if you open it up. No, but I went through. I was going through the pictures, and I'm going to have. I'm using that coaster right now. As a matter of fact,
I
using it
don't
right now.
have, I never got a single one of those coasters.
I grabbed fucking 3 of them.
I'm very sad. I want to strewn them across my red tent, which you guys fucking use like crazy as a placeholder.
That red tent got a lot of
Dude,
use.
There's so many fucking rings in the fucking top of that red tent.
Oh shit! Not Mock.
Assholes.
Mock. Yeah, no, Mock. You were playing Gradius.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Mock
Yeah.
is fucking awesome at Gradius.
Yeah.
And,
I was-
right, is someone going to own up to the giant spill I had to clean up in front of Street Fighter?
Yeah, who did that, fuckers?
Who did that shit.
That was me. Yeah.
I actually didn't want to know. That's fine.
Oh well, I thought I cleaned it up. Yeah, I was talking, and I just kind of knocked over a drink.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like me and Mike played like 80, 100 games of Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but I don't recall ever spilling anything because I always had my beer underneath the pin.
Right.
But
now you tell me, yeah.
yeah, now I know. Yeah, but
And knowing-
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
I was going through the pictures and I figured out the two that I'm going to have framed. I'm going to get two. One up one, which that Gak had taken, I think, or took, which is fucking awesome. And then the pizza one. Those are my favorite two.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
I think those were the good. Those were the goods. The hyperspace is a good one too, but I don't know, like, I don't know. I usually only do one or two, and I think those were the best ones.
We should have done a group photo at One Up. We did the pizza one, but we should have done one with all the players because it was like pretty much our group that went over there.
We got that one of the Bloody Marys and
it wasn't everybody.
That's the one I'm talking about, Andrew.
Yeah.
That was the first thing in the morning where it's like, all right, it's like put your seat. It's like your first drink, like putting your seatbelt on. It's like, all right, ratcheting that fucking
and
roller
away we
down.
go.
Why didn't we do a group photo at Hyperspace? I was really looking forward to
I know. Well,
yeah.
Someone was swiping left.
Guys,
You know, we could have really done a complete group photo at the Airbnb because there was only a partial photo of that.
Yeah.
Should have been a full on.
Man, there was a lot of cocks that night, I tell you. No one had the camera.
That there was.
Hey, Griffin.
Yeah, so
I got that one.
right. There you go.
Posted that one.
That one to Steve and
Steve, you should get an 8x10 of that and give it to your wife.
He's so happy. Give it to your wife.
There you go, honey. Put this at work. Put this on your office desk.
I was wearing the Devo hat when you guys told me to put it on. She came in here and she looked at me. She goes, "What are you doing?" I felt like I was like 5 years old. Nothing, Mom.
You're ruining all the bedtime fun.
I don't think I ever posted this one either.
Oh!
Yeah, that was great. I saw that.
Totally neglected
I got the penis glass.
Didn't Carrie have something on her notepad too?
Yes.
I had Andrew decorate the corners.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, I had this video too that I never posted, which was the pouring of the shots. It's bartender actually pouring the
nice
pancakes.
Oh.
I could have been in the video.
Yeah, I took
I would have been in the video right there. Boom.
I'm happy he now knows how to make that
putting that
shot.
away, and then he's pouring the. Yep, there goes the butter.
Yep.
That's where I heard the blonde go. Oh shit!
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a girl's like, I want a shot, but I don't know what I should have. I want something sweet, and he's like, Hey, I know of a good shot and pancakes.
Yeah,
because now he knows.
Yeah, he was having fun doing that.
And he started loading them up over on the bar.
He was really cool. I forgot his name, but he was really nice guy.
I guess I was somewhere else when this was happening.
Oh, no, yeah. You're swiping right.
Not you. Yeah.
No way, you were somewhere else.
What?
How much is that? $67? No problem.
I got that shit.
Times how many? Yeah.
Was that what it was, Jim?
Yeah, which wasn't that bad.
I guess
considering a double shot like that, or I mean, a chaser.
It was a double shot. So I was like,
that's also a call premium for Jameson too.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. Here's the group. So I took mine, but I was filming.
Who's that good-looking guy? Oh, it's David. And you thought I was talking about me.
This is like a video within a video.
My mind is scrambled. God, that was such a good time. I'm glad you took this video.
So I haven't posted it yet.
That would have been good to put a video.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah.
And there goes the chaser.
Here comes version 3.
Holy shit, that actually does taste like a pancake.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry about I don't know why my light decided to make itself part of it. Anyway, so I've got a full thing of
that's awesome.
Making of the drink and the drinking of the drink. So
oh, that's great. Yay.
I should post that at some point for you guys.
I don't even like pancakes.
But he took the shot in the team.
Right, and dude, how do you not like pancakes?
Like, who doesn't like that? That's like saying I hate rainbows.
Hanging out with the group when you're all doing something together.
So
pancake shots. Fuck that.
Yeah, yeah, you like standing out on the sidewalk while the rest of the group does something together.
I'm working on it. Get better.
It's addiction.
Well, put it this way: if I'm ever in an event, I can be your cameraman since how I don't drink.
Yeah, you and Orange Whip. We can get 2 different camera angles.
See, Joel,
Yeah,
even,
exactly.
Buffett makes himself useful. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You guys get
no
the
leash
leader
required.
drinkers, right?
My
Joel. Yeah.
Sorry, I just happen to be
Well, at least-
doing. Somebody just.
At
messaged
least we
me
know that
about-
you won't be hiding in the bathroom, swiping, because that's just
my
pure
hair.
torture.
That's Joel.
That would just be weird.
He's in the stall.
What's weird about that?
Well, if I swipe in the stall, Dave can't fall asleep on the shitter, so.
Yeah, see, competing for stall time.
Well, Joel's swipe and then wipe.
No,
Oh,
that-
no, I did it the wrong way around. My phone.
I do not want to borrow your phone.
Oh, I pooped all the phone.
No!
Anyway, weren't we talking about the NAT tournament?
Well,
You started talking about his fucking poster collection.
so Grinkers, Grinkfest 5's coming up October 13th and 14th.
Yep.
Most of us will probably get there the 12th, Thursday. But what we wanted to do was just kind of a fun little thing. We don't want to take away from the main attraction, which is the main tournament, black and white tournament, challenge, all that stuff. Pretty much the same as how it's been every year. Different games, though, of course. But to kind of kick off the weekend, we wanted to do kind of our style tournament, but not a tournament. So Friday evening, probably 5 or 6 p.m.-ish. Depends on who shows up and who's there. Right? Does that sound good?
Yeah, so not too drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a key, yeah.
This is all about being an ice-breaking.
Oh, who are we kidding? We're going to get lit.
The idea is like,
I said not too
Yep.
drunk. Yeah, not
And, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
From our experience, what we did at One Up and then at Hyperspace, depending on the crowd size, each game can take anywhere from maybe a half hour to an hour. And, we don't want to go more than a couple hours. So,
no,
we'll do anywhere from like 1 to maybe 3 or 4 games, depending on, the crowd participation. So, ideally, we're just going to do it for a couple hours, just like you said, break the ice. And, we'll have some fun little, we got leftover t-shirts.
And Leo's all about breaking the wind.
Oh, nice.
Right,
Do they serve wings there? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
And,
break
honestly,
Leo, they have a B-dubs.
Oh,
Yeah.
B-dubs.
That's right. They do have the B-dubs.
So Andrew, when you guys are driving out
And
from?
Famous Days.
Oh, it's You're gonna be a Thursday. I keep thinking I
There's-
confuse
yeah.
the 2 days.
I'll be there Thursday, 100%.
Okay, because I know some people they actually don't even get there till 5, 6, 7 o'clock Friday night.
I mean, it's a work day,
You know?
right? So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Dave. No, I was kidding. Oh, wait,
Actually-
that's like 11. Yeah.
I spoke to Dave today. He'll be there Thursday, actually. so-
Awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Bet your
Yeah.
cheeks sneak
None of the
you'll be there.
standby bullshit.
So yeah, I mean, I don't anticipate
you got a real ticket.
everyone. I don't anticipate everyone being there at 5 or 6 o'clock Friday, because a lot of times you got
It's
maybe half the
quiet.
people by then. Yeah. And
Quiet. It
it's
doesn't
pretty
start kicking
mellow
off until
until
drinking time. Like 8
Yes.
to 10 o'clock on Friday is when it starts kicking off.
Right, exactly. So this is kind of a precursor to that, just to kind of, let's have a good weekend. So
Leo, Mark says that they're gonna ship some wings in for you. So
They better.
great. Way to put some fuel on the fire there, Mark.
Yeah, right.
Time Runner,
Take him on
Thanks,
and
Mark.
Time Runner, they probably got some pretty spicy stuff in Texas too, right? So
You're gonna have to truck that shit in because that man can handle it.
yeah.
He had like what was it? Like a 12 hot, 12 super hot, 12 stupid fucking hot. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, the key was to get different flavor because you just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
And mix
that's
up
the
your
key.
palate a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you look like you were enjoying it so much. Like this pain.
I had this case with like
Yeah.
If I don't stop, it doesn't get hotter. If I don't stop, it doesn't get hotter. If I don't stop. And it was just like
by machine. Leo, when you were on like the last two, you're plowing through them so fast, and we're like, oh my God, he looks like he's just in complete misery. I mean, your face looked like a catcher's mitt. You know, it's just like.
What kind of catcher are we talking about?
I'm not going into specifics here.
I was just sad because I had no more wings to eat. That's why it was so.
So yeah,
see, Puppet says as long as his aren't spicy. Well, shit. I mean, Leo is like doing the hottest of the hot.
I don't know, pure quantity alone, even.
Yeah.
You want to really impress us? Put some gold bond on that ring. And
actually, Buffett, you missed it the week that Andrew was opening up your prizes, your cap kits, the donations for the tournament. I kept saying, "Oh, it's just going to be a box of crab legs."
We were hoping for a fucking tray of lasagna.
Yeah, it made it there, not frozen.
By the way, the cap kits. Oh my God.
No, I mean that was.
By the way, thank
you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
That was a small fortune.
That was a small fortune of cap kits.
No, dude, that honestly was like super awesome for our little tournament that we were doing here. It's like a hangout, really, like this.
Yeah. Everyone that contributed got a prize.
That was super generous.
I chose Buffett cap kits for my prizes. I have 2 of them.
That's cool. I'm just glad that they made somebody happy. That's all I.
Yeah, thank you.
You made 9 people fucking happy with 9 packets. That's amazing.
Yep. And then there were some other people who were very confused and they didn't know what they were.
One person left without a prize.
Exactly. We did have one person. Were like the people that like were being collected randomly from the arcade. Like, hey, come join us. And they're like, cap kit. What the fuck is a cap kit?
Yeah. No, that was the ongoing.
What size those t-shirts come in?
We know they're not going to choose this. They're not a collector, So
yeah, exactly. The flashlights and the t-shirts were big with them, but the cap kits, the rest were like, yes.
One of those. What the fuck does WTF mean?
Now, if we told each one of them that each one of these cap kits was almost $50, they might think.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to send something useful. Is all I was concerned about.
It was much appreciated.
It was awesome.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
As a sponsor, dude, awesome. Yes.
Say the clock tower. Say the clock tower.
I know. It's fucking 9 o'clock. Is it like once an hour that thing does that thing?
I don't know what.
Well, but it's 9:48. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Your clock is off.
You told me to build a bomb, so I took their plutonium and in turn gave them a shiny bomb casing full of used pinball machine parts.
He said it so fast. I'm trying to say it. How do you say that fast?
He can do it.
One of the little bombs. I took their plutonium and turned gave them a shiny bomb casing full of used pinball machine.
There's a really bad Trudeau joke in there I could use, but I'm
I know. I've already been back to that tonight, but I'm not talking about it.
We make fun of 1 elected leader per show. That's our limit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, did we already hit Kim Jong-il?
I think it's about time for a Canada joke. No.
So, all right, back to Grinkers.
Yes.
So,
good job.
We've already discussed some games that we're going to try to do for our mini tournament. But let's keep it kind of a secret. I want it to be kind of a surprise.
But we're doing 2, right? We agreed on 2.
We don't know. Right? I think it'll be at least 2. It might be 3, 4. It depends on how many people.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And
then, here's a quick question: do we have the opportunity to potentially make it? Just throwing ideas around. Do we have the opportunity to make it 3 people in the team? Just to get really fucking crazy.
We'll have to talk off air.
We'll try that.
Don't
spill the beans. Don't tell them that we're doing a Punisher tournament.
That's all I can.
Or Pit Fighter.
Yeah.
Leave it up to Griffin. Always has to kick it up a notch.
The defender. One person on the moves, or one person shoots, and they're both blindfolded, and somebody else is telling what to do.
People defender.
Yeah.
No. One person
One
hitting
thing to
most of
do.
the buttons, one the joystick, and one hitting reverse. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just up reverse.
And at least 3 people telling you how much they fucking hate this game.
Yeah, three-person whole position cockpit. That would just.
How about three people crash? Like 2 people are blindfolded, one person controlling, one person speed up, left, up, down, speed up, left, no.
How about four players space zap? Everyone takes a button and you just conflict with everything. Nothing happens. No shots go out. You're all just
200 would be the high score in that one. Jesus.
Everyone's just spamming the buttons, and Steve throws us out for breaking his games.
How about do blind eyes? I'll do blind eyes. Get it?
Well, yeah. Oh. Nice.
I see what you did.
Sorry, it's the end of the night. I'm feeling it pretty good. I'm out of jokes.
Yeah.
Jokes?
Cameron says 4-player space zap is an amazing idea.
Right? It actually
as long as
really
it's like it's a pretty small cabinet too, right?
There was Gak and Mock behind me on the pinball machine, but that didn't pan out so well.
First thought says we should have a 3-way boonga boonga tournament.
Instead of saying up, down, left, right to a blindfolded person, you just give them a hip thrust. That tells them which way they got to go.
That's right. Yeah, you can't talk. You're so the person who's blindfolded is blindfolded. Other people are mouth blind or mouth gagged.
Right.
They gotta do it just with thrusts.
Or you just steer with their joystick.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so it's one hand in your mouth.
Excuse me, can I get some sanitizer?
Purell on the front of
me. Purell between.
I call last.
This end goes in your mouth, and this end goes in your. No, wait. This end goes in your butt.
What kind of a breathalyzer is
this? You are going after the younger girls, aren't you?
Anyone will talk to me.
So yes, and we've also Andrew and I have been talking to Steve about all the games for the regular tournament stuff too. So I think in the next couple weeks here we can't release any of that stuff, but we'll start figuring it out. And then
Steve, we miss you on the show.
So Andrew's got he's also got a shirt design kind of
working on designs. Yep.
So
we've got a concept
coming along too.
Yep.
Nice.
Right.
And probably in the next few days here, I'll be doing the VIP thing like we do every year to try to get everybody to pitch in so we get all the bonus extra stuff. So that helps out, to be able to get the banner, posters, all that good stuff. So
yeah. Hey Steve, we still have a slot available if you want to join in. It's never too late.
And this is totally not the worst time to join the show at all.
Right, not at all.
No, not at all.
This is the best time.
Yeah, totally.
Sober, it's a great time to join. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
It's funny. So like Brian Teat Dogs, who was at our tournament, he actually brought up a great point, which I don't know if you guys know, but the UV ink that's on the Nat shirts, it is glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our shirts are glowing in the
So
dark.
I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but yeah, put that shit up to a light, wear that shit in the dark.
I brought it up that I think we should do branded condoms next year. They could be glow in the dark too.
Very popular.
Oh my God. Can you imagine everyone taking them out and making balloons out of them and shit? Oh my God.
How do I frame this?
It'll be a nice conversation starter for Joel when he swipes right.
And condoms are so useful for people that are in their 30s and 40s and older that have already had children or not children at all, and pretty much we're all fixed and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Well, also don't forget
all married and shit. Yeah. Hey, honey, how about if I busted a glow in the dark condom?
Yeah.
Really hot.
I have nothing to fucking contribute to this.
I'm not married either.
So Leo and Jim are gonna have a sword fight of potency.
Yeah.
I do believe that's called a cocktail.
I believe I'm the underdog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn around and cheek sneak and knock Jimbo out in a second.
Wow.
So you're gonna.
Steve's got to start selling hot wings.
Steve's definitely not gonna.
Hey, why don't we get Buffalo Wild Wings to be a sponsor?
Let me get this right. You guys want to?
If you're a sponsor, Leo will buy 172.
Oh my God, we will get at least 100 wings in this motherfucker in one night.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh,
challenge.
All right,
I like
got
this.
me in for $10 on that one.
How many bucks? Yeah.
I'll have my car. I can go pick them up.
A fucking 10.
I don't know, but Chili's wings are better.
Oh.
10.
What?
Yeah. So Fire on the Mountain.
record.
Yeah.
Those are way better than Chili's.
Yeah.
They do
Fire
good.
Mountain was great. Those are really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm so glad
that
you
was
guys
really
thought of
nice.
that. And
Oh, it was nice. It was within walking distance
we're
or
like
stumbling
walking
distance.
distance,
right,
Yes, staggering different distance for those of us with the Long Island.
I am
iced
sad
teas.
that we couldn't find butter shots.
Oh, I know. We tried. We gave it the old.
But it's okay. We all were plenty drunk. So
we
all
were passing around the flask of Jameson's on the way over.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And then the next day when we were all leaving to leave the house, there was like an elderly couple that lived like next door.
No, they were so sweet.
And they're like,
oh, you guys are fine.
They're kind of looking at us laughing. I'm like, hey, sorry if we were too loud last night.
We
They're
just
like,
took out our
we just
hearing
took the
aids.
hearing aids. We can't hear anything.
Exactly.
It was all good.
They were brilliant.
Oh my
I
God.
could have stayed
They
there
were
for like
like
3 weeks.
They were very quintessential Colorado. Like they were like, whatever. I'm glad you guys had a good time. And I'm like, I live here.
And of course, you know, like we're all just a bunch of kids to them. We're all like teenagers
were
to them, right?
They were like 85 and totally baked.
Exactly.
The only difference is that
10
we didn't,
a.m. on a Sunday morning. They were fucking hammered.
we didn't have to carry out a bunch of like recyclables to the end of the driveway and be like all embarrassed. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
You have to leave that shit store inside the place.
It's like carrying your shame on your back. Just like,
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh
Dude,
my God.
remember Brofest, our cabin? They're just fucking
Oh.
it was like
Oh,
a frat party.
that was.
It was a fucking frat
Every
house.
night.
Just
Every
line
night.
up right on the windowsill, just
Yeah.
So
Somebody retired off of that can money.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing empty beers.
right? And that's just it. It was like some expensive.
They were
nice
like
ass
awesome
beers.
This
It wasn't.
This is not like 65 fucking cans of Bud Light. This is
We're
like,
all
holy
hungover.
fucking shit.
Yeah,
We're
sorry, Dave.
hungover.
Yeah.
Andrew opens up the door, and there's a fucking case of beer waiting
And
for
like,
us there.
Oh,
like a full full fucking. It was like, all right, put it in
Yeah.
the fridge.
Yeah, of nice ass beer. It was
Awesome
ridiculous.
beer.
Then we're
Yeah.
doing Manhattans the one night. Then we're just like
Oh my God.
Every night. We did Manhattans every night.
Every
You're
night.
right,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did Manhattan every night.
Yeah, and then you and me, Andrew, went home with cherry bitters. The
That's
compliments
right.
of care.
That's right.
And Carrie brought me another bottle for this trip here. Which
I did. Yep.
Which honestly, I was disappointed at first because it's not as big as the regular bottle before that. But because it's got the eyedropper thing in there,
Yeah.
it actually
You do a good
lasts.
squeeze,
For me, it actually lasts about this, actually longer because I'm usually really generous. But knowing that it's just like one squirt,
yeah.
One,
It's like
one
one
squirt.
squirt per drink. Yeah.
What is the
He's a
bitters-
squirter.
what is the bitters do?
Nicely done, Leo.
You're absolutely right, Lee. I haven't played that sound in a fucking long time.
Jim, what is the bitters do to it?
It's a flavor. Mock.
'Cause I have it in my bar, and I've used it in some drinks. I just don't know what it's for, really.
All right, so
Like, what does it do?
Manhattan is mostly whiskey. So it's a 3-to-1.
But
Right, so
2-to-1.
Three,
Yeah.
the way I do it is 3-to-1. So
Oh, interesting.
I guess you guys
Whiskey,
can do
whiskey,
one.
and what else?
But it's whiskey, sweet vermouth, and then shots of bitters. But the bitters, if you go a little heavy with the bitters, and actually I like the bitters because I like that like tangy kind of.
I like more. I'm generous on bitters.
Yeah. So I mean, if you just taste bitters by itself, it's lightly alcoholic, but like it's just a kind of a.
I guess I'll have to try it again.
Orange-ish.
Man, I just remember that vermouth stuff just being nasty.
Well, you don't drink it by itself.
Yeah, you
No,
never
sweet
drink it
vermouth
by itself.
is terrible.
Yeah,
It's foul.
And
Yeah.
usually
I mean,
I'm
I've
lighter.
never gotten before, but I'm sure it's like the vermouth or something is in it. That's the active thing that just tastes nasty to me.
So vermouth is
triggers
like
backstage
vermouth
reflex.
is like shitty wine. Basically, it's like wine that's gone bad.
Okay.
So
It triggers
you use
backstage.
it as a very. That's why I do 3-1.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do a little over 2-1. So mine tends to be a
Yeah.
little heavier on the whiskey.
Yeah.
And I'll say I like Manhattans with the sweet vermouth, but my martini is
very dry.
Very dry, and I just think about vermouth. I don't even want to have vermouth be in my sometimes.
So you're just looking for like vodka or gin and olives.
And olives. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That would be it. I just think about vermouth and how grateful I am that I'm not putting it in my drink.
And technically, it calls for bourbon, which is obviously whiskey, but
And any whiskey really will do, but like typically it's a bourbon.
Yeah. Yep, and then a cherry.
Yeah, and you actually the good cherries. When you guys left your bottle of cherries, which oh my god, those cherries are fucking amazing.
They're mouthgasms.
That's the proper.
Glad you appreciate my cherries.
There we go, man.
There's a joke to be made.
Season 1 of Arcade
There is
Hangout.
indeed. There is indeed.
Strangely enough,
I have no follow-up to that.
And strangely enough, I've appreciated Carrie's cherry over and over and over. It's amazing. You can actually indulge in that cherry multiple times in one night.
So,
Oh my god. More than once?
I know.
Andrew, when you want to get Carrie's cherries,
Yeah.
When I want to get
Andrew,
Carrie's
when you
cherries.
want to go for for Carrie's cherries, you kind of like you put your finger in for a little bit, right? Kind of like
That sounds like a tournament, a side tournament.
You got to fish it out.
Then you just kind of like tilt it back and just dive right in, right? Yeah.
So tonight's drinkers
At some point you
challenge
get
is
frustrated.
Carrie's cherries.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it.
Bobbing for cherries.
Bobbing for cherries.
Carrie's cherries.
Carrie did put it
Which might be a tournament in Grinkers 2017.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're on the fence, maybe you should show up and find out.
So, I'm gonna, Andrew.
Because that shit's delicious.
No maraschino's cherries.
No!
Hey, Joel.
Hello.
Hey, did you talk about why your site went down?
Oh yeah.
Wait, let's very
Hey,
quickly wrap
we
up.
had great cherry talk going on.
Let's
hold on,
let's
Andrew.
bring
What were you saying?
Grinkers to a quick close here, and then we pass it Arcade Icons. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, yes, we are going to sponsor a tournament. Please be there on Friday. We're going to do a great ice-breaking tournament, or not a tournament thing, at Grinkers Grand Palace on Friday, October 13th.
It's so much fucking fun, and everyone has an equal chance at winning.
It doesn't matter. Honestly,
can't
you have-
stress that enough.
Right?
It does not matter
If I can come in first place on a tournament day, everybody has an equal chance.
Or you could be the worst. You can suck at every fucking game there and win this thing.
We need to start
It's a lot. It's an
talking
equal
about
lottery.
me?
We need to start up a sign-up sheet on Clav too.
No, you have mad defender skills.
We're gonna do who wants to do
I
it.
do.
It's
That's
gonna
true.
be-
That's why I keep trying to get Defender in that tournament.
And
Want to do it on the fly?
Insane
What are you
odds.
saying, Mark?
Just to get an idea of how many people. I was gonna say maybe put something on Clav to see him get a read on how many people want to participate.
Well, I think in the next couple weeks here, we'll talk about it on the thread, but it's really going to come down to who's there on the spot. We're just gonna, who wants to volunteer and be and we just grab the lanyards, and we do it just like how we did in Denver.
We could do that. We could also do a poll of just like post to say of interest, just see to gauge how many people would be
It
interested.
doesn't-
Because
it's
there's like
not-
90 people that are coming to Drinkers
But
so
the thing
far.
is, like that's all told. Like we're not
Yeah.
gonna see that number nurse on Friday. It'll be
I'm trying to think, but nothing
It'd be
happens.
different. That's true.
Yeah, it's
No.
not going to mean a thing.
who happens to be there, but like we're gonna promote it as like, hey, show up on
Exactly.
Friday night, have a good time. We're gonna do this thing, and we'll talk about it when we kick the thing off. But
Yeah.
like the thing is, like, yeah, it's like this is not about.
It's a social.
Very casual.
It's a social event,
and it's not meant to take anything away from what's Grinkfest. Also, it's just
Right.
kind of a kick off and have a good time.
but it's
And,
like it's like 90% of us who show up to Grinkfest have no chance of winning any fucking thing. So here's your chance to be involved in something where, like, you
Well,
may.
you could potentially win the Drewster Award if you keep if you
Right,
play
yeah.
encouragement.
Actually, it's the GAC Award.
The GAC
Right.
True.
Give credit due where credit is due. GAC earned that the first year, hands down. That is officially.
Look, if I can win the Street Fighter 2 tournament, anyone can win anything.
Exactly.
That is
poster child.
yes, that is
for,
so
like,
true.
you don't have to be good at any of these games. Or even like
Steve
them.
has already, let Andrew and I know of a few games that are new that he's going to have. So
Yeah.
Be expecting some new games this year too in all the
In
tournaments.
the main tournaments, yeah.
Yes, main tournament, Black and White, and the Manufacturer Challenge.
Steve
Looking forward
needs
to
3 T-Max, and we can have a team.
that. Yeah.
So,
I would love
and for
to
the
get there.
people that haven't seen what that tournament is like, they have to check out the video for sure.
The video
Yes.
really
Oh,
encapsulates
Steve-
everything.
So
Video is great. Yeah,
what's
video
the
is great.
YouTube channel, Mock?
You can just go to YouTube/mock the Magic Man.
Can
I
Brad
also-
post it in the chat?
I'll post it I just posted it in the chat, the link to the
Okay,
the
there you go.
video.
But yeah, we should probably say it because for the people.
Yeah, maybe Brad can you put it in the information?
When you post a video.
Yeah.
I shared the video out on the Arcade Icons Facebook.
And a bonus of that is you get to see me getting railed against a pinball machine, and Pseudo enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
God, that
you
was
said
fun.
something. You said something when you're playing Joust that I was going to ask you about. You said you turn around, you go. What did you say?
Who are you talking to?
Biggest.
Oh man, I got to watch the video again. You said.
Cool story, bro.
No, I can't remember. I had too many vodka UV vodkas. I'll get back to you on that, but I was going to ask you about what you meant by that because you turned around right on your victory and you said some word like fire or something or button or something like that. You said something.
Can.
Who are you talking about, Mark? Who are you saying turned around, Mark?
What's
No,
that? Jim. Right when
did you keep that in the video?
Yeah, it's in the video.
the
It's in
edit?
the,
Okay.
But you
I'll have to watch
won
it.
and you're playing with you and Griffin. And you said something. I
Yes,
was like,
and
what does that
we
mean?
will have some prizes for our Nat tourney. It may just be we do have some extra T-shirts left over, so it may just be that. But
Those are one.
more.
I'll say this: that shirt is one of the best of all time. Like that. That is.
I
One of
like
the
how
best.
it glows. The
And-
Xylas, it was neat, and the light.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
It's the best shirt. Yeah.
Gak and Andrew have made some fucking awesome shirts over the years. This is in my top 3, easy.
Oh, the Nat
of their budget. Yeah, the Nat shirt's one of my
love the
favorites.
Nat
That's easy.
Agreed.
Wow.
Agreed.
I give all credit to Andrew on that.
Yeah.
That's one of my. It's easily one of my favorites. Like a very top percentage. And there's think about it. There's been a shirt at every Grinker. Like Grinker is what 3? Well, the 2 I've been to, the Brofest, Tax. This ranks way up there. It's such a cool shirt.
It is.
I mean,
It's an amazing shirt.
this one, and last year's Grinkers with the Shall We Play game, the War Games one.
Yeah,
those
that
are my
was
2
cool.
faves.
Yeah, the prototype.
pretty cool.
I
too.
love the prototype shirt.
Prototype was really good.
Prototype came out great, and I love that
There's
it's
my
blue.
there's my top 3 right there.
Yep.
Bam.
So
I'm gonna
this,
talk to
one, this
Samson.
year, Grinkers will be a special one too that has some
A big
extra meaning
penis.
to it also. So we'll just put it that way. That
Intrigue.
It's just gonna be a it's gonna be a portrait of Steve.
It's a special. It's a
Oh,
special
that'd be awesome.
Just a headshot. Yeah.
Right? And no, Steve, as if
Which
he was
head?
done in Jelly Belly jelly beans, like they did, like with Reagan.
Yeah.
Right?
He's giving you a hug.
Or in a, like on a DMD display, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, this is Steve's head DMD
I'd buy those,
style.
Rob.
I want a Steve Barbie bobblehead. Make it happen.
All right, so all you 3D printers out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. You know, Arcade Outsiders brought us together online, and Grinkers brought
come
us
on,
together.
Lilo.
in
It's only
person.
110 over
You know?
there.
Yeah.
All right, Jim.
Yeah, right?
Not the quote.
Wuss.
Guys,
All
I
right.
gotta go to bed. Thanks for having me.
All right, Leo.
See you all soon. All right,
Good night, Leo.
Wait for it.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, you dick.
Ciao. Ding dong day.
I told him to wait for the ding dong day. But,
Okay, Jim, when you're playing, you turn around and you.
Day.
Before that, like Chris, can you say that one more time? What you were just saying?
I said we'll smell you later.
No, before that.
Good day.
Because like this is I love what Chris was about to say, and I heard what he said. I don't know if you guys saw it.
So I said, to give credit, Arcade Outsiders brought us together online, and Grinkers brought us together in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very special.
That's not, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys heard that because, like, what Chris just said that's true. That's
Yeah.
heartfelt.
No, it totally is.
I'm reaching out
And
online.
then Mock and Gak brought me together against a pinball machine.
You got trained, man. You got railroaded.
Well, I asked for it though. I pushed out my butt. I'm like, how do you play this game?
Right.
I watched too much.
And then all of a sudden, your eyes are fucking rolling in the back of your head, and you're just grinning like a.
Well, I had to go along with it. I had to.
I don't know. It's cute. No, it's totally cute.
I need more help.
How do you
I know, and then it ended up being a three-way pinball.
All we
think
needed,
much longer.
though,
It could've
you
been like
needed
six-way
to be
pinball.
what's the black actor, the other guy in Bad Tent, the other the little guy. Okay, the little guy has to be PC, but he's like mouthing off something like when he sees
Like motherfucker or something.
Motherfucker. Yeah, that's what he says, I think.
Oh, is Orange Rip gonna post it?
Yeah.
It looks like he's looking at something online.
No. I was looking to see when Ready Player One was to see.
Oh,
Then I
yeah.
love you guys.
Yeah, when is that supposed to come out?
Oh, I gotta post a
Wait,
link for you guys, too.
Wait,
I'm
it's not
leaving.
boring. You love movies. You love arcade games. Are you?
But yeah, so where do you guys fall into the Ready Player One, into it, not into it, hype, overhype category?
I haven't read the
Well,
books.
the trailer
All right.
didn't show any of the story at all, which is kind of
No,
good.
the
in a
trailer
way.
was like nothing. It was a teaser. Yeah.
Yeah. But
March
it's-
March 30th of next year is when it comes.
It
out.
was
right, so-
flipped
so-
CGI.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Here besides Mock and myself, because I know the two of us have read it. Who else has
And
read it?
I've read it.
I've
I
read
read
it.
the audiobook.
I'm halfway through it.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to read it
so
before
far,
it comes
Orange?
out.
All right. So
Gonna
who
make that sound
has
like
not read it at all? Doesn't know anything about it aside from.
I know the storyline a little bit, but I have not
Right
read it.
here, buddy.
I got the audiobook if you want it.
Yeah, I started listening to the
Steve,
audiobook too.
I
But
need the audiobook because I read it years ago when it came out, but
I've forgotten a lot.
I'm
I
due
read
for
like
rereading it,
Too, yeah.
but I'm not gonna make time for it. So the
Yeah.
audiobook by Will Wheaton would be a great way to.
It's so
make that
good. I like how he does different voices.
I'm
for
the
everybody.
worst audience because I don't read much fiction and I'm not a big book person. So I like
But do you
articles. I like
listen?
nonfiction.
Yeah, but you like
Yeah.
movies, so
You
you can look
just read
forward as a
manuals.
movie.
Bye
Yeah.
then.
I just read manuals.
Yeah, you're like my dad. He only reads manuals.
I'm not tall enough to be your dad.
Wait.
I don't remember how tall my dad is. I don't know. Maybe.
You know, I'm pretty excited for this movie because Warner Brothers owns so many like
Properties.
So Ernest Cline knew that when he went in to write the screenplay. So the games are going to change,
Yeah.
but they're going to be other things. So it's going to be a new experience for all the people that already know the book. So it's going to be kind of new games to see.
I think it's going to be fun. And I don't, you know, if
awesome.
they end up diverging from the original book, like I'm cool with that. It's what they wanted to do. It's,
I mean,
As long as it stays
it'll be
true
fun.
to the original concept, which is basically a rip off of Snow
Yeah.
Crash
Yeah.
and Willy Wonka.
and Willy Wonka, right? I
Willy
mean,
Wonka and the Matrix or something. No.
I would say
Yeah.
far more Snow
Well,
Crash
virtual
than the
world
Matrix.
of the Matrix, not like the storyline of the Matrix, just
Yeah.
a CG world of the Matrix.
Well, but like the thing is, like Neil Stephenson did that with Snow Crash way before the Matrix was a movie.
Snow Crash. See, I don't know what
Yeah.
Snow Crash is.
Oh, all right. So while you're waiting for the movie to come out, you should read Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash. That's
You should reel Stevens Needles.
real Stevenson Crash Snow. No, yeah. So Neil Stephenson, Snow Crash, brilliant book. It's cotton candy. You'll go through it in like a
I
weekend.
know, like Ready Player One, I read in a weekend.
Yeah. So Snow Crash, same thing. But like
Yeah.
that is, I think they got a lot of that from that thing. The whole hero protagonist jokes, and there's so many great things in that book. I mean, it's like Diamond Age from that same era from Neil Stephenson before he got into Cryptonomicon and like some of his more sort of cerebral, kind of harder to read, involved science fiction. Snow Crash, Diamond Age, cotton candy reading, very, very easy. Piers Anthony, kind of L. Ron Hubbard, old science fiction stuff. Asimov, very easy to read, very like quick reading kind of stuff. Snow Crash, awesome book. Read that. It's totally a precursor to this.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
Is it easy to read?
Nice.
I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't easy to read.
Yeah, so is Ready Player One is very easy to read as
No,
well.
I mean,
so.
I only throw that because like Ready Player One is such a cotton candy book. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so,
it's just like you
it's just
zoom
like
through
it's
it because
popping
you get
popcorn.
hooked in
It's-
so easy
yeah.
too.
I mean, it's just like it was built for like turning into a screenplay. So
Yeah.
I throw these other books in that same category just because they're so easy to read. They don't require a lot of thought. You just sit back and just sort of let the movie play over you.
Mm-hmm.
Snow Crash falls into that. I would say that it's more Snow Crash than Matrix.
See, I like the backstory of. I know if you've been watching like the backstory of like trying to get this movie made. When they finished writing the script, they were looking at it like, well, who should we be sending this?
Why can't you grow an ass?
Who should we sending the script to? And then they're like, well, you know, Steven Spielberg owns a lot of these properties. We should probably send it to him.
Oh yeah.
And they
Oh,
sent it to
no.
him, and he actually freaked out over it and went, "Oh my God, I want to do this movie." And he hasn't done like a lot of movies lately. I mean, it's far from between.
When was his last
So,
movie?
What was that Alien one? I think wasn't that his last?
Covenant?
No.
No. Wait, Prometheus?
No.
Well, those are the last two Aliens fucking movies. So like, what's
No. It was an alien movie. That
Covenant.
came, no. There's an alien. There's like 5 kids or something. It was kind of like Goonies and an alien. Remember the alien came down and like, he needs to get off the planet. It was like, but he was like
Super
eating
8?
people and
No.
stuff. What the fuck was that movie?
That's
He was
Biggest,
suck-
biggest.
He was sucking up like a magnet all the metal in the town, and what was that
What the
called?
fuck are you talking about?
Oh man, I'm telling you. You'll know when I
I know, you're killing me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
killing me, Smalls.
That's right. You're killing me, Smalls.
Okay, hold on.
All right, Spielberg. What the fuck?
Hold on. You'll go.
Can I just point out that
Was it
Joel
easy to
escaped
read?
without talking about his website going down and
That's
He
where
probably
I'm
fell
at, man.
asleep.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Well,
he's
that's
involved.
no longer
10
his
o'clock,
priority.
he's pretty much
Nick,
ready to call it quits.
yeah,
I've had to be-
next week
I've had to be
hold his
muted
feet to
most
the
of the night
fire.
'cause
Next
my
week.
kid's been running around upstairs.
Well,
Tommy-
but the point is,
When-
as of today,
Thank
it's
you.
up and running again. Arcade Icons website.
Yeah, the website.
It was down for a few days there,
Yeah,
but
very
you know, it's a
unfortunate timing with
2-week.
the tournament.
Yeah, it's a
been
2-week
unfortunate.
tournament for our finals.
Hey, swipes take a lot of time.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, but it's all up and running now. So anybody who wants to continue with the our weekly challenge and season finals challenge, keep going. So good to go.
He was
So
on
it's
the.
up to you guys to break the site again. Go.
He was on with me before the show started. He basically just said when we said that the site was down, he didn't realize it was down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was down.
It just ended up being out of space. He had to get more
Yeah,
space.
he thought we were just being like hyperbole or
down.
something.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was really fucking.
Well, it's weird for an ISP.
Down.
He didn't know until I
Where
showed
the
a screen grab.
site sucks.
Down.
Down.
I did a
Can't
screen
put your
capture of his
scores in,
website
no.
being down, and then he's like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize it was down." So yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. Like, dude, yeah, that's where I was like, oh gosh, I got to put my score here because I want to remember it because the site is down.
Yeah.
Did Griffin talk about that down? Did we get that far?
The what?
Did Joel ever talk about why the site went down?
No, Arthur
he
just
failed.
said it was basically out of space. So
It was out of
you know,
space, and they
so much
ISP
content.
shut it down.
The what? Oh, space ran out?
Yeah, space ran out, and the ISP just shut the website down.
Wow, they don't fuck around.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even know how that works. Do you have to like pay for a certain amount of content that's on it?
Yeah, it's probably bandwidth.
Every character, bandwidth, yeah.
It's bandwidth issues.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a bummer, but it's kind of a good sign then, I guess. You know? I mean, a lot of stuff
exactly.
going on,
It's quote unquote a bad problem to have.
Not
Except
a bad
he
problem
doesn't
to have.
advertise, so he's not making any money off of
Yeah,
it. So
right.
Gotta get on
it
that.
actually is a bad problem to have.
He needs to start advertising.
Yeah.
You
They
can
throw
do
a
that.
banner on there, Google Ads or whatever to
There you go.
pay for
Draw
it.
a dick on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Put some U-porn.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, wiggling the walk and a giggling the talk. Make the world
Go
round.
round, round, round. Ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make you act
make
so
you act
funny,
so
make you
funny,
spend
make you
your
spend
money.
my money. All right then. Well, anyways.
Shall we talk about pickups?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who else picked up a game?
Oh, who else?
And Jim, why aren't you working on Toki?
Oh, yeah, speaking
Low
of picking
hanging
up a new
fruit.
game that already is.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you go first.
Me?
Well, I've been enjoying playing Silkworm while it sits on the bench. You know?
Yeah.
Actually, Silkworms, I never realized, but it's a combination of Moon Patrol and like a side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
Yep.
Huh.
And
I've
I
never
never
really
knew that.
played it. I've seen it on
I was,
Craigslist
I
a
was
few
like
times.
playing it to Carrie the other night, and I'm like, this is crazy because you can choose like when there's a credit in the game, you could choose player 1, you could choose player 2, and either of them. Player 2 is a helicopter, and it's a side-scrolling shooter, just like Gradius or Forgotten Worlds or anything like that. You get power-ups, you're shooting shit, you're flying, left to right. If you choose player 1, you're a tank and you're on the ground and you have a jump button and fire button. So it's very much like Moon Patrol, except you've got a joystick with a button on top. The button on top changes, so there's 2 people in the tank. The first guy is manning the gun in front of you, and you can change the angle. So that's just with the joystick. But if you push the top button, it changes to the guy in the back, and he shoots behind you. So it adds a different, dynamic to the game. Fuck! It took me a while to think of that. Thanks, Mark.
Is it just me, or is everybody getting the
You've had
robotic
some good drink.
yak in Jimbo's sound?
Jimbo's a little bit robotic, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit
I can hear him okay. I can hear him all right.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Upgrade your PC, dicks. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
can't hear Buffett at all.
I'm
yeah.
I'm not upgrading my like 6-year-old Mac because it costs too much money.
Because it's
It's
Apple.
like a car.
What's weird is I look at you guys on the YouTube chat and everything looks pretty clear, but if I look at you on our live feed, everything's really grainy. It's always like that. Yeah.
That's
being recorded. Yeah.
It's like we're all 8-bit, but they get to see us in high def.
So well.
Yeah.
It's better than the other way, I think. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess.
We show our dicks.
Well, at least get my good side.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's a cool game, but I don't know what I'm going to do with the kit, because that's eventually going to be Toki. And I posted in Slack, but I got like 20 different gray samples for vinyl for it.
Yeah. I saw that.
And I came up like of them. There's a good 5 that are in the runnings, but I haven't went up to the side art to match it up with what it looks like.
I forgot to comment on that actually, but my first thought was, okay, it used to be a Robotron, right?
Yeah.
The cabinet was if you could almost match that Robotron kind of silvery color.
Oh, dude.
As kind of a throwback to Robotron.
Yeah, well, I want to do a gray, but I want it to blend with the side art, and I'm not sure if those are going to coincide. There's a couple of these metallic silvers that look.
No. So I was thinking about it. So I showed you guys, a couple of you guys, actually, the video I tried to post when we were spraying my Robotron Cabaret.
Oh yeah.
Me mixing the stuff in slow motion, which I tried to post to Slack, which didn't work.
This paint is brown.
It was like a slow motion, it was like me mixing up the T1000. Like it was like,
this paint is mercury.
It's crazy the way that it was going, the metallics that were going on.
By the way, that movie was awesome on the big screen.
Yeah, I bet you saw that recently, right?
The redone. Oh, they changed a few things in that movie too. James Cameron.
They Lucas it.
Yeah.
Not
all the guns turn into
that's
flashlights.
extreme. That's extreme. But I will say the one scene that I know for sure they changed was when Arnold is on the motorcycle.
Arnold.
Yeah, when the Terminator is coming on the what would you call it, the ramp? When the semi comes over the bridge, and he's chasing John Connor on the dirt bike, and Arnold is on the motorcycle, and he comes off the top, and he's in the air, and then he lands on the ground. It's in slow motion, boom, and there's clearly when you watch C2, it's a stunt double. It's clearly a stunt double.
Arnold mask.
They CG'd Arnold's face on.
Wow. They also erased. In Mocha, they erased all the cables holding onto the motorcycle too. It's in the extras. You can see it.
Yep. They changed it so it looks. It's actually really. It's done well. Like it looks like an legit. Oh yeah, completely. And so I remember I turned to my buddy. I'm like, and we both were like, "Oh, they changed that." But otherwise,
they do that with a lot of movies. They do face swaps, and they've done it way back in Jurassic Park, where the two young kids.
The girl when she's reaching up,
she's hanging,
and the raptor's coming out.
And she looks up. That's a stunt double, and they swap.
And that's a really early version of that, and
that's like one of the first times I ever saw it.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, you can't tell if you're not looking for it. It's still
right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, I got an answer for you. Okay.
All right.
The movie was called Super 8.
I said that.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit.
I did.
What were you saying?
How was that? I thought he directed it, but he didn't. That was an Abrams movie, so I was mistaken. But anyway, it was a big. I'm trying to think of like a big production, like AI or something that like Steven Spielberg's done, and I'm trying to think of something as big as Ready Player One.
Yeah.
What was?
So you're saying Super 8 was the last?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what was a really big movie that he's actually directed, though. I'm like, I can't think of one. That he's
when was the last Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
He co-directed that, though. He co-directed it. I'm talking about by himself directed.
Okay.
I can't think of what it was. I mean, I look on
batteries
database, but
yeah. I fucking love that.
That's a horrible thing.
I fucking love that movie.
All about the batteries.
It was a good movie.
Remember the black guy who only answered in commercials?
I know. Yeah.
If you watch a movie now, people are like, "What is he saying?" Because those are all of the time, right?
Yeah, he's all totally speaking like.
Takes a lick and keeps on ticking. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Oh, it's a Timex commercial.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking knew that.
It's all like slogans from the
Bridge of
80s.
Spies.
Yeah. It takes a licking.
He did Bridge of Spies in 2015.
What's that?
Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies. Oh,
Never even heard of that.
There wasn't a lot of lasers and explosions in that, though.
No, he actually has another movie this year called The Post.
Okay, here's what's cool about Ready Player One. Oh. It's got freaking the Back to the Future DeLorean in it. It's got the Akira motorcycle in it. Yeah. You're gonna see all this pop culture shit everywhere in it. It's
all that shit, which was not part of the book, but yeah.
Well, the DeLorean was.
It touched on it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I admittedly, like, I read the book once years ago. I mean, it's been years. I read it when it first came out. I remember when, who the fuck was making a big deal about it? I remember some online, what the web comic guys, they were making a big deal about it.
Or something.
I kept hearing about it on G4. I used to watch G4 a lot, and they talked about it a lot on that channel. So I fucking picked it
there,
up.
but I haven't had cable in years, so I didn't watch G4 much. But I just remember watching like a podcast or something, and someone like brought it up, and it's like, here's this amazing book you totally got to read. And this was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I picked it up then. I think when it first came out.
Podcasts were talking about it a lot too.
First came out, like on paperback, and I was like, all right, sweet. So I picked it up, and I think I picked up that one, and then Masters of Doom at the same time, which is all about the creation of Doom and the whole thing with John Carmack and like how ID came up with Doom and the whole story behind that, which is a great little story. Masters of Doom. So like, if you haven't read that and you're into those old PC games like Doom,
what came first, Doom or Castle Wolfenstein?
Wolfenstein was first. Yeah, Return.
Okay,
well, Wolfenstein.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I know.
And then Return to Castle Wolfenstein was So we're talking early ID.
Boring.
Fuck you. This is like
this is history of arcade
stuff. You should.
No. I just want Steve to be in here.
Yeah. So, Masters of Doom, like that's a great book. It's practically a documentary kind of thing on the creation of ID software and like how that whole thing worked out. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's super good.
Sounds like a good book. Pick that one up.
Yeah. So yeah, read that one. I picked up both of those at the same time. I read through both of them at the same time, and it was like Masters of Doom was like a documentary compared to Ready Player One, which is like
that's fantasy,
pure fiction. Yeah. So it's like kind of cool reading like kind of both those at the same time and back to back. And I'm definitely due for reading or rereading Ready Player One, but frankly I won't do that. So I'm all about like someone hooked me up with the.
I'll try to remember that sometime this week posting the a link to it to the
please do
so you can check it out.
I would do that. I would love to just put it on a board.
So anybody who wants it, Gak, you already have the audiobook?
I listened to a few minutes of it. I don't know if I had the full one. This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
but
it's like 40 or 39 chapters. They range between 25 minutes to 10 minutes. So it's great for like in traffic. I just listened to it on my way to work. I got through it in like a week.
Do that.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Close to 2 hours a day in traffic, so.
It's perfect for in your car. I had it just on a thumb drive in my car. I just stuck the thumb drive in my car, and my car remembers, where it was. So every time I'd be driving, it would be on.
Because you have a fancy Chevy Volt, right?
Well, a Volt. Yeah. If you got a newer car, they usually come with the USB slots. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think your van has a USB.
My van has a cassette player.
Oh my god!
Thank God.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like it's on an 8-track.
I love your van though. Your van was like so perfect for like all of us to like pile in.
I had a vehicle to carry all you motherfuckers.
I know we weren't safe, so thank God you didn't get into an accident because there's no fucking seatbelts. But we could transport it so that.
I was talking with Chris about that because Chris was in the front seat a lot. I'm like, dude, oh my God, you have no idea how fucking hungover I am right now. Please do not fuck with me right now. Jesus Christ, you have no idea. I'm practically still drunk. Will you not fuck with me right now?
Oh my God, Sunday morning. So bad.
there you go.
I behaved myself all
That's
weekend
that
up until
time.
Saturday night.
It was like us just pouring out of the
Oh, you gotta
fucking.
change that logo to say Arcade Hangout Denver
Yeah.
2017.
Yes.
No, the
Yeah,
was
actually,
there.
that was perfect.
I should have been getting
Saturday
baked every
night.
morning to deal with the hangovers. Oh my god.
I gotta say, you know, I think I'm gonna recommend we try to do this Friday because man, that was awesome. I gotta say it at One Up. I was a bit hungover from Thursday night, and Andrew, you're like, screw it, I'm gonna have a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, but fuck beer.
Oh
I'm
my
starting
God.
with a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
enjoy
I
it.
cannot even remember. It's probably been 10 years since I had a Bloody Mary.
Was
Like,
it good?
screw
Did
it,
it
I'm
hit the
having one.
spot?
It was
Oh, no.
perfect. It was perfect.
I think what we ought to do at Grinkers is like we should plan the Bloody Mary mornings
Right.
where we all get together before breakfast. We all get together.
Oh, before breakfast? Okay, well, we're talking like noon or 1 o'clock breakfast.
We'll call it brunch.
Yeah, exactly right.
We call
So
it brunch.
exactly right. So for brunch, and we all have a Bloody Mary, and then we go get breakfast. You guys will feel so awesome.
It did.
It'll be the
helped a lot.
perfect.
Yeah, except for
With it-
those of
with
us who are like Bloody Marys are vile, but other than that, we
Well,
will
they're-
root
yeah,
you all
like
on
a-
the
I
drive.
don't
I'll
like
drive.
them either.
You guys can have a mimosa or whatever
Oh,
your
I like those.
Screwdriver,
Whatever.
maybe.
Yeah, those are good.
screwdriver. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like, that's fine.
Screwdriver's
We should
good.
have a classic like brunch drink for Grinkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can do Bloody Marys, we can do mimosas, we can do screwdrivers, like whatever you guys want to do for like how do you wake up and want to have a drink
And start drinking.
Yeah.
and start drinking.
Like,
Basically, that's
yeah.
the plan.
That's kind of Hobbit second breakfast, all about the second breakfast. That is so true.
Yeah.
Potatoes. Boil them.
Potatoes.
Stick 'em in
Boil
stew.
them, mash them, put them in.
Stick
We need
'em
to
in
put that
stew.
in our
Yeah.
sound bites, Jim.
Yeah.
All right, I'm working on it.
Potatoes.
So Jimbo, I gotta
Boil
say,
them.
I keep finding fucking quarters in that Mega Touch. So this is the
Oh,
last two I found today after pulling that monitor. I pulled probably $5 in quarters out of this fucking thing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. You're
Yeah,
coming
but
up.
I'm wondering
Invaded a
if
bacon
quarters,
eater.
if the quarters are not part of the reason why there's been $5 in quarters and thing, like why the thing didn't short out. And I plugged it in because after being rolled on its head and rolled over the top and shooking around and who the fuck
UPS
knows what.
style.
Well, I
all
used
those-
to use that as a
all those
piggy bank,
quarters.
quarters and dollars, but I would usually empty that out. But maybe they got lost along the way.
I'm not fucking kidding. I pulled probably $5 in quarters out of this thing.
Amazing.
Stuffed under the motherboard, stuffed under the fucking monitor chassis.
Well, that's not from the coin chute. That's from something else. then.
They just show up random places. So today, after I thought I pulled this thing apart, I pulled it apart 2 more quarters today on this fucking thing.
Well, don't tell me I didn't give you a good deal.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. If you yeah.
One of these
like
quarters,
a money making machine, it's like a golden
Yeah.
hen that laid the golden egg.
one of these quarters, look at this. I'm pretty sure that might be a big fucking burn mark from something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this may have been one of the quarters that burnt this fucking thing out. when I plugged it in.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, shit.
That's not quarters.
Okay, but yeah, we don't let UPS see this. But you're like, oh, hey, you shouldn't have to pay for this. Wasn't us, although they're the ones who rolled on their fucking, like, you know, send up.
I agree.
Go Gax. Go Gax.
Oh, yeah.
Where's your glow sticks, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I know, we need to display him.
Where's he? Oh, Mock left too. Fuck.
Yeah,
Dick,
he
I
did
was
a be right back.
Oh, he's getting more vodka.
Oh, the hat's coming out. I can sense.
Oh boy, you get the hat.
And he has to bring at least one hat to Green.
I know. Well, so here's the thing, though. It's like if
Yeah.
we get many more than like maybe 5 or 10 than we had before, the Devo hat will not contain the badges that we need to pull from.
Oh,
That-
that's true.
Oversized. We'll just make another ring that goes on it. So
Well,
it's like
We
Yeah,
need a multi
Mark.
Devo hat.
Mark.
Well, you know, I bet that Steve can supply us with something that we could use.
Potatoes.
Empty out beer. you know, box of packs or something.
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Everybody, boil 'em, mash 'em, boil 'em, mash 'em, boil 'em.
They just mashed up.
Like
Gus is getting into it.
I know Gus is like singing along.
Yeah, right?
We've been telling Gus for a fucking year now he needs to be on the show.
That remix, and then the one where some dude's like, I can't remember what it's called. It's not very PC. It's I believe it's called.
So how do you start this joke, Jim?
Yeah. Shoulder check. Shoulder check.
I'm so glad you guys like that joke.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. I've thought of that so many times.
What happened in Denver stays in Denver.
Yes.
Laughing my fucking ass off about
that, and the lemon cookie stays in Denver.
Oh my god, the lemon cookie.
Where's my fucking lemon cookie?
Good.
I don't know why, but I don't know why.
Potatoes.
I don't know why, but the link I just posted, this other Lord of the Rings thing, it's not very PC, but I don't know why it's so damn funny. My old coworker showed me this, and it's.
I'm gonna stop and
just.
listen to it.
I know, but.
And I can't go to any of those sites, or my computer like quasi crashes and I lose everything.
Oh, is this the end? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's different places. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. That's a brilliant. I still actually, whenever we watch the movie, I always say the same fucking thing. It's like I try to go.
The hell?
Just listen. I'll just play it here.
Yeah.
I wish you could. Perfect right there.
Because it is like 5 minutes of like fucking slow motion and mixed with like reaction. It's stupid. It's terrible.
It's so bad, but
It's bad.
God, it makes me laugh. It's like Cheek Sneak. It just I don't know why. It just
Because
it's the simple things that fucking make me laugh. And
mentally challenged Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I take it as it's a blessing that I'm easily amused.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die happy. I'm gonna make my fucking self laugh to death. Yeah.
Because you're gonna be like letting off your last fart before you pass away. You just be like, you're gonna be like.
Yeah. No, Andrew. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be Cheek Sneak. I'm just gonna.
Sneak.
Yeah. I don't need to worry about. I'm gonna be a happy guy when I pass away.
At what age is our farts not funny anymore?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, girls don't fart though, so they don't find it.
No, that's true. Although I'll tell you what, occasionally girls fart, not this girl, but other girls fart in yoga, and that's really fucking funny when another girl farts in yoga.
They're doing their little.
Everyone is totally relaxing, and it's like, downward dog, and
that sucks if you have your face near their butt. You're like,
yeah, no, that would not have been funny at all.
and no one's allowed to react. You just listen.
Well, that's just it. So I went to. I've only gone to yoga I think I've gone to like 3 yoga classes in my life. Fucking hated it. So I tried yoga a handful of times, and the last time I think I went was with a friend of mine, and there was this older woman who cut some farts throughout the class, and my friend, and truly it was my friend, not me, she fucking couldn't stop laughing, and she was actually asked to leave. And so she was so embarrassed. Yeah, right, because she just
that's not
there's
fair.
no laughing in yoga. There's no laughing in yoga.
All right. Well, if there's no
Which
laughing,
I think is
then
why I never,
farting.
why I don't like
This one's
yoga.
got
I'm a
an echo.
Pilates girl. Fuck yoga.
Listen to this. I didn't realize this. This one's got an echo.
They need to make
sounds
yoga
like
pants
Leo.
with googly eyes on them.
Oh boy.
I miss Andrew's IRC googly eye photos. The IRC
Oh,
is the
it's
best.
so long. We used to get those all the time. The
I
flappy
know.
things with the
I should
googly
be,
eyes. Maybe someday. Maybe you'll grace us with us again someday.
Someday I'll resurrect the googly eyes.
That's when we were on the other end of the podcast, I guess.
It
Whatever.
was. That was back in the podcast days.
Those were damn good old days, though. Those were fun.
Right, Andrew?
You remember that? Like we'd all join, and all of a sudden, like be like one person. Hey, Gak, Mock, Andrew, Carrie. It's just be like a string of people,
right?
Yeah.
And
Whatever the topic we brought up,
be
we'd find some horrific pictures related to it.
It was just stream of consciousness kind of thing going on.
My favorite thing was when there was like delays, and it's like, all right, time to start inserting, cockpits.
to kill time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first time Andrew posted the skydiver video.
Oh my god, that's always one I think of too.
Yes.
Remember you would disappear for like a long period of time, just gone to go to the bathroom. Like, okay, break time. There'd be like stretches like 10 or 15 minutes of nothing. So
there were some of those nights where there would be 90 people in that chat, and you could not even keep up with it.
It was so fast.
Yeah. That's our goal. Goals.
Oh my god!
And
You
then
cannot define yourself. You cannot define success.
Brad would draw attention, irritate Sean because talking outsiders. Quit spamming the chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the mark of like a proper show, when it's like, how many call outs could you get from the guys where they would groan because of some picture you posted.
Yeah.
And it was
it was a
every week, and it was like, all right, I'd find the fucking shit. They would get the guys to fucking mention me on the show.
Say something, yeah.
Exactly.
That was the ongoing thing, yeah.
And it wasn't about like give a shit about being like mentioned, but it was a challenge. It was like, how do I get
challenge accepted?
How do I get Joe or Sean or John to laugh because of some shit that I posted in the fucking Bears?
Well, I mean, that was when we first started doing our hangout afterwards. That's how we got Joe to join.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he was the first one to come on.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when John came on, that was already when we were doing the live thing.
Yeah.
And that was already when we were doing the live thing.
Yeah.
That was when Orange was over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, at your house. That's right.
And then when I realized it was like a box set of my videos, I was like,
yeah.
That was my best, the best one for that night. Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, memories.
Yeah.
One of the first memories I had was with doing the live chat. They were talking about like what custom pinball machines would you do, and mine was to catch a predator.
Oh, that's right.
And they were all busted out talking about it. Like, all right, they got the same kind of sense of humor I do.
John Trudeau could design it.
Okay, the show goes to Mox. Sorry, Joel. Nicely done. That was good.
Ouch,
that
too
was super
soon.
good.
Sorry.
I've made all my Trudeau jokes in the fucking chat. You bring it out in the open.
Yeah.
That a boy.
Hey.
Yep.
There's no
There
kitty
you go.
porn on my computer. That's all
You
I
know
have.
what though? That guy looks like he would have
porn.
played Santa.
That's right. But not virtual porn.
No.
He looks like a Santa. He would have played a Santa.
All right. Well, so does fucking like Pac-Man's.
Oh Jesus!
Like, what is it? I mean, there's so many fucking guys. Like the thing is, like this hobby has so many weirdos involved in it that you'd be like, all right, yeah. In retrospect, yeah, he's a creepy guy. He could totally like diddle people.
Creepy Palm Hulk.
You know you own 2 pins from him, right?
I know. Shut the fuck up.
It might be time to shut the shit down.
I'll take that Ghostbusters off you for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, take the taint away.
Depreciate or
Ew.
Gives a whole new meaning to the Slimer mode.
That is interesting.
Oh,
That's an interesting point, though.
nice.
That's an interesting thing to think about. Is this going to affect the prices of the pins?
No. Oh, I think
No.
ultimately.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing.
no.
Aside for the whole
If
the alleged stuff.
If it affects things, it'll be a short drop in the bucket,
Yeah.
changing
No,
market
I don't think-
value. But ultimately,
The only drop would be people who are like seriously offended by what it stands for, and they just want to get rid of it and they just blow it out. But I think
There'd be like people, church-going folk, that be like, I don't want this pin in this house, that kind of.
But
the reality is that these
Okay,
games are good, regardless of the designer. It's like
He's
it's
made
not
some
about
awesome classics over
So
there.
he wasn't like convicted in this way, like how to raid and find videos. But think about like Michael Jackson. It's like, come on, that fucker did some sick stuff.
I don't know if you
Right?
guys know this though, but there's the way these things work is it's usually an investigation where they wait and they find the ring. There's a ring of people. It's like a club and they all exchange with each other.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they get everybody's IP addresses and then they raid everybody.
Yeah.
And then they just grab the computers and they check it. Boom, you got the child porn. It confirms what they already knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is all alleged because I don't know. I got to say that with him. But it's usually how it works. Is that they kind of know already when they go in.
They
there.
don't give out
So-
search for nothing.
Yeah, they don't give search warrants out for nothing. And not only that, they grabbed not only his computer at home, they grabbed it at work too. I heard. I don't know if that's true.
It should be everything, right?
Yeah, that's fucked. Aside from that, though, he did make some amazing games.
Nice. I love how you did the fucking
Aside from that,
Jim actually shut down too. That was
yeah.
I mean, I hope he's innocent because yes.
That's so bad.
All right,
That
so
is
I don't
so bad.
Great.
I don't want to end this show on a fucking John Trudeau
Right.
No, we had to talk about.
Can we just
somewhere.
all right? I can't wait to fucking hang out with you guys in a few weeks. We're gonna do an awesome Nat tournament at
There we go.
Grinkers.
It's only it's just a little over 6 weeks away. I can't believe it's that
We're
soon
so
already.
close. We've got a ton of work to do to make this thing event
Yes.
happen. And actually, like all of you guys who are here on the show and all of you guys who participate in the show regularly, we need your help. So thank you in advance for all your help to make this thing happen. And we're gonna throw our little Nat icebreaker thing. And Chris is working his ass off to work on sponsors. Chris and Steve and I were working on designs to make this thing be something special like it is. So, I'm totally
Orange, you got to send another letter to Never Too Hungover.
I'll try.
Let's end on an awesome note of like, holy fuck, we're so close to Grinkers, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
I've got the best motivational song for Grinkers right here.
So I'm so excited because like you guys made
And you just can't hide it.
The Denver event awesome. Like every one of you guys that came out, Chris, like your help, everyone who pitched in to make this thing happen. Like this was fucking amazing.
Yes,
like,
and we want to share it with more people.
we want to share this. This was like a lot of fun. Everyone who came to this
It
tournament,
was
like,
fun.
it didn't matter how good you were at games. You all had a great time, and I want to share this experience with other people. People who just joined us randomly and had a great time. Like, I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
So
no one was wearing pants. It was great. Big hugs.
So we need a sponsor for not a tournament for Grinkers. Never Too Hungover, and maybe KY.
Yeah.
Don't forget
Gold Bond.
Gold Bond.
And Gold Bonds.
The Winter Fresh, or whatever the hell it is. Winter Green.
Already just in a few days.
Blizzard of 77 down there. Tell me
We're going to be listening to Miami Sound Machine the whole entire time.
So it doesn't show it on the current post of the video, but because remember I took down the first one due to the wacko misspelling. But if you add that with the current total, it's had over 120 views. So
wow,
that's pretty
awesome.
cool. I mean, 120 people has at least looked at it.
Yeah.
Right. And only 80 are showing up to drinkers. No, I'm just kidding.
And what's funny is not any comments at all. Isn't that kind of weird? Not, that looks stupid.
I'll
that's
comment
lame.
on it.
Or not one comment or
You want to
anything.
start? We'll start the comment train on that.
All right.
I'm gonna use symbols to draw a penis.
I mean, even to say, well, that looks dumb, or that looks fun, or anything.
equals
nothing bad,
equals
nothing
greater
good.
than.
It's like they look at it, they watch it, and then they go back and click something else.
I'm gonna symbolize a penis. As
I did get a comment from Wyo on there.
Well, Sam is a consummate hero of ours, so
yeah. And he said, "Sorry, I couldn't be there."
Damn it,
see
Sam.
See ya, drinkers.
Well, you know what? Like that fucker should have nothing but excuses because he lives here. And why wasn't
he was
truly missed out. He truly did.
Yeah.
He missed out.
And
And
we
we
would have had
missed
so
him.
much fun with us. I know.
Honestly,
if Sam had been there on Saturday night, oh my fucking god!
If he had been there on any night, Thursday was a blast.
We wouldn't have made checkout
Friday
time.
was
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we all had a blast every fucking night, and he was invited to all.
Name one day that was a downer. There wasn't one.
No.
Nope, that's great.
So I'd be happy to have you guys back to Denver.
Yep.
Maybe someone will play Star Wars next time.
I played it.
None of you fucking
Hey, I
played Star
played it.
Wars even once.
Yeah, you taught me how to use the Force.
Mark played it.
Yeah.
Right?
I beat your high score in Cuba.
And by the way, I think at least a few of us got up on your whiteboard there. So
You
I'm
did,
proud of
yeah.
that.
I've got high scores from Mock and Cubert. You're right. My bad. Mock on Gradius, of course, because Mock.
Of course,
fucking
yeah.
destroyed Gradius.
Fucking rockstar.
We got Gak.
Castlevania.
We got Gak on Donkey Kong Jr. We've got Leo on Tapper.
Cheek Sneaks.
Yeah.
Right.
We've got Gak on Mr. Dew's Castle. We've got Mock on Pengo. We've got.
Oh yeah.
I think I got Millipede maybe or maybe.
I'm on Castlevania.
I know.
And Major Havoc, I want to say. Millipede
Yeah.
and Major Havoc.
Gak, you got Millipede 131739. That's a good score on Millipede. Mock on Gradius, of course, we said that one. Just reading down the board here. Circus Charlie got a score on it for fucking DLS.
Oh yeah, Stern, David. Right?
Super Stearns, yeah.
Yeah.
Who also fucking beat my score on Ghostbusters, so fuck you,
Oh,
David.
I know you were so thrilled about that too. That was
I
awesome.
know, I was like, all right.
Definitely. I gotta say this about David, man. That guy is persistent. He'll just keep hammering until he gets a really good score.
Oh yeah, no, he played Ghostbusters like to the
Yes.
No, I remember like when so this is funny. So I got Ghostbusters right, and it was in the garage, and I'm playing it, and I have my brother here, and you guys know, maybe you got my brother.
Yeah,
so
he sounds just like you.
he sounds just like me, and we get drunk. He sounds just like me too. And there was like the second or third weekend he was down here for a visit before he went off to England. So he was like, we were spending a lot of time together before he moved away. And I was working on stuff on the arcade to try and get shit ready for you fuckers to come over here. And he played Ghostbusters. I'm not fucking kidding you. For like 5 hours straight.
Oh
Jesus.
wow!
Oh, that's right, because you're like stop at one point because.
And I was like, dude, I had to
think
stop him, and we're like drinking and having a good time, and I'm like working on games, like tweaking shit. I don't know what I was doing, working on stuff. Like the arcade was shut down. He could have played anything he wanted to, but he just played Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he's a machine, man.
And over and over, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Stop playing Ghostbusters. I can't.
I hope it's worth the noise.
Fucking killing me, and I couldn't play it for 2 weeks. And the
Oh,
game was
really?
brand fucking new here. Like I've had it for a week before he showed up, and I was like, dude, I can't hear that fucking game again. It's killing me.
I was wondering about that. Who was it when I was at your house? Somebody turned to me. who was that? It might have been was it Leo or something. They said, "Does this music get on your nerves after a while if you own this pin?" I wonder who said that.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know who said that. I was like, I don't know. I should ask Andrew that.
It
The answer
doesn't
is
bother
yes.
me because like I was like still like I'm still within the warranty, like well within the warranty for that. But like, and it was like, play the shit of it. Like find the problems with the game, because if there's a problem with it, then in the first 60 days, it's no problem to go back to Stern and they'll take care of whatever.
Yeah.
You've got like a year or 2 years, whatever the warranty is on it. So like the warranty goes beyond that. But if it's like early on, there's no questions asked. They just fix it. And this was basically new in box. So it's like find the problem. So like when I took it away, it's like the guy was like, dude, play the shit out of it for the first 30 days because that's easy warranty.
Right.
And so my brother fucking did that. But then it's like funny because like after he probably has more plays on that machine than I played on it. Like it's like he played it so fucking much that first weekend that he was down here. I was like, dude, I can't fucking hear Ray Parker Jr. one more fucking time. I'm going to strangle
free play
an alley cat. Just to make me feel bad about the happiness that's going on with this fucking
Sorry, bro, but I can't. It's off free play, and I don't know how to fix it. You're gonna have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Can't drop it in the quarters.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you $5 for every play from here on out.
Sorry, man. That's the best I can do. Oh, that's all right. I have a lot of money. Ah, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I
There's
don't
only
know,
so
it
many
just does that.
replays, and it does. Yeah,
It
exactly.
just
It only gives you a certain number.
Give me
Yeah,
$5.
it's 50.
To
You gotta pay.
Ghostbusters pin, you need to have that sitting right next to Popeye arcade machine and Roadrunner.
Oh God.
Right?
Oh no,
Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's so awful.
The trifecta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. The game I would push off the roof if no one was looking.
Castlevania.
Castlevania. There you go.
Castlevania is the other one. Yep. Oh my God, those. I just remember like being. So you guys you've been to hyperspace now. So it used to be hyperspace the way it was set up, when it was just the first room that I pointed out to you guys before they expanded into the second room. It used to be that Forgotten Worlds was set up right behind fucking Roadrunner.
Nobody got it. It's just a track mode.
I would sit down and no one would fucking touch Roadrunner. So I'd sit down and fucking play all right, clear my head. I'm gonna play a good game of fucking Forgotten Worlds. It's the first time I got to play it since I was a little kid, right? And I'm playing it and meep meep behind me fucking every.
Fuck.
It's like every fucking 3-4 minutes. The track mode and that meep meep. And it's like, oh my God!
Everybody on Clov complain about that.
Yeah.
That is the worst track mode.
Yeah, no.
It is
when I worked at
so
7-Eleven, we had it in there, and I had to
Popeye
listen to that all the
really bad,
time.
too.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, because it plays a song. It's like.
Yes.
That's like Popeye. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we had a Roadrunner at 7-Eleven that used to drive us crazy. That beep beep. We actually would unplug it all the time.
If only they had done the full on. If only they had done the full on laser version of that game. That's badass.
It's a broken machine. Sorry, kids.
Yeah,
it's broken.
Yeah.
Play the other one next to it. It's quieter. I mean, it's working.
Yeah. Just buy a Slurpee instead. Screw it.
Yeah. Get a big gulp and Roblasters is awesome. Just that one.
Yeah. Well, are you guys ready to kill it or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get to work.
Unfortunately, Steve Waller. That's Steve W. Right?
Yeah, Steve.
From East Coast there.
We'll save a couple of the pickups for next show.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we got stuff to talk about next week. Yeah, we have 3 at least. We'll see if anything happens in between. We'll talk. We'll talk pickups.
On mine.
You didn't hear the wacka.
Yeah, I know.
So, Gak, you want to do the
no
romper
hints
room
what mine
here?
might be.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry.
Mine has handlebars.
Anybody, but actually, I didn't see Frizzle Fried this week. Maybe he's protesting because of Arcade Icon
Oh,
website being down.
You and your shitty website that doesn't work.
Yeah, we didn't know what our fucking game is for next week, so.
Oh, that's cool,
So,
Gary.
yes, thank you to.
It looks like the Harry there, whatever.
Does anybody know who RC Cola 777 is?
Well, we've seen him before. That's
We've
not
seen
a
it
new
before.
game.
Yeah, he's been there.
Houston.
Yeah.
I think that might be a friend of Time Runners. I might be wrong, but
Is that a skeleton dick?
Time Runner doesn't have friends. You must be wrong. Just kidding. I know it's his birthday too. Special birthday shout out, and we didn't say that earlier.
And, and by the way, looking forward to seeing Time Runner and the rest of the arcade crew.
Yeah,
you are, but what am I?
Drinkers, so good times. Okay, so all right, Leo was on with us. I don't need to.
I say we tattoo him.
Then we kill him.
Yeah.
I say we stop him. Yeah.
Then we tattoo him.
Yeah.
Then we hang him.
Then we kill him.
I say we let him go.
Oh.
All right, so RC Cola 777, whoever you are.
Oh, Seabart's there. Seabart.
Is he?
Yeah, just said night, guys.
Luop,
yeah, I
Paul
wasn't
Backwards, Drinkers, Grand Palace. Steve, you need to come on. I'm gonna quit if you don't come on in the next couple weeks.
All right,
Oh,
we'll
shit.
have a PG.
That's my threat.
Maybe
Right,
we can
exactly. We'll have a PG version of
a
the show.
PG-13.
There we go. Brian
Version of the
Frober,
show.
love you, buddy.
Brian.
You need to come out.
Yeah.
Jack Lick, I've seen him on a few times. He's on KLV.
I've linked Jack.
Jack Lick is our source of the eyes cabinet.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
And, that has many great memories of mine.
Yes, Jack Lick is a
Right.
huge.
He made,
Yes.
yeah, that was huge.
Really made it a good
I still
time.
have his phone number on my memo app.
Yeah.
I
Dave
didn't
from
want to
Buffalo,
delete
he
it.
didn't join us tonight, but he was.
Yeah.
Nice,
Matt Adams. Now, Matt Adams, he lives out by you, right, Andrew?
Yeah, so he's close to me. So he drove
He wasn't able to make it to any of the
No,
Nat stuff.
he made it to Grinkers.
He made the Grinkers, but he wasn't able to make it to the Nat stuff.
No, he never made Nat. No.
Okay.
But
Is he going to make it to the next Grinkers?
The van that made us to Grinkers last year was Mams. Yeah.
Okay. Is he going this year?
We crossed our fingers. We
Hopefully.
get a van.
All right, awesome.
It's either be his van or Super Stern's Mazda.
Ah, yes. Nice.
We know it's not your van going through
I
Wyoming.
ain't driving my fucking.
Oh, you don't say that, State.
I know.
No,
I know.
That's
That'll be a state.
So, Time Runner, Mark,
drives happily through Denver, but it does not go through Wyoming.
So, yes, Time Runner was in the chat. Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday,
Nash
Mark.
Villain, Clint.
You old
Our
man.
William Clint.
Right?
Clint,
That's exciting when Clint.
By the way, Clint, Andrew, and I will be reaching out to you here in the next couple weeks with the game list.
Time Runner, I can't believe you're 48. I thought you were
gone
like
to bed.
older than like 47.
Let's see.
True of
Who else
yesterday.
I got on the list here? Going down on the list. Keep going. Oh, Gus.
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 So was
Gus.
none of us made
I'm thinking
it.
of Cinderella. Yeah.
Yep.
Cinderella,
I wonder if Gus made it to the last one spot thing, by the way.
Yeah.
So Gus, thank you for
Gus,
coming on.
Gus. Gus.
Gus. Oh, that's
Yeah.
Now Gag's on it.
No, it's Cinderella. It's Cinderella.
That's Cinderella, yeah. The big,
It is.
the mouse.
So the chubby guy. That's Gus.
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 Well, what about
The mice-
Cinder?
the mice
I
are-
remember Gus being like a super nice guy, big teddy bear, want to hug him and
Yeah, just like
share some beers
Cinderella.
with him.
He was like a Cinderfella.
Cinderfella.
Andrew, I don't know if you remember that. Remember the first Bro Fest we did? He brought a shit ton of beer.
Oh boy!
It was just so much beer. There was like two big picnic tables.
We had two picnic tables full of
It must have been like 200 bottles of beer. I'm not even kidding. It was ridiculous.
We probably had $1,500 worth of beer on that table.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was-
God.
It was insane. And Leo was pouring, and
Yes,
you
Leo
were
brought out
pouring,
like multiple growlers
and
and
I was pouring. Like we brought out like the big guns of fucking beer that night. Oh my god! And do you remember the dude who was like, he'd only ever had Bud Light.
Oh God, really?
Oh, so Dave?
He was
yes.
Oh my
He was,
God!
like, kinda
And he
spitting
was
out. He's like,
he was drinking like $10 beers a sip.
Yeah, we didn't want to pour him too much.
And we're like, oh, dude, like we're drinking these crazy fucking beers that were like insanely expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, all I ever had was Bud Light. What's this?
Oh no.
That tastes good.
You should
Andrew,
drink.
you probably brought like a 12-pack of, and they were like $10 bottles each.
Yeah. And he's like, you should drink lake water because you won't know the difference.
Fucking 10.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Deliverance. Wait, I played
We're-
that earlier.
Totally bringing out the big guns of like Treehouse and amazing beers. Oh my God.
I remember one time I had a party over here and I had a bunch of like, mixed beers like that. And then somebody complained like that. They're like, don't you just have like Pabst or Budweiser? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh my
Right.
God.
I had no clue. All right.
So Steve, like real quick, interject for just like a brief second. So
Go for it.
I was a DJ in California, and actually, like one of my favorite moments I ever take away from like a DJ thing was like
Max out. Oh no, not that DJ.
I'm spinning.
Jamaica.
I'm spinning. So like the
Grandpa is here to visit.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why you hung out.
Oh my God.
We're gonna get drunk at Drinkers next year.
I have
So.
nightmares now.
Right? Much.
Yeah, Seth, I recognize that tongue.
Ew. Oh God. You and John Trudeau.
Yep.
Oh.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah, right. Not with your son. Not with his son.
Turn it off. Stop it. All right, Andrew, back to your story.
I'm done with
Yes.
my story.
Yeah.
So
No, wait, you didn't finish your story. Finish it.
I don't even remember what it was.
Finish the game.
We were going down the list, and we were talking about Brofest.
Let the
first
poor
one of all
man
of yours.
speak.
Too late.
I love that story.
Too late. All right. Well, Mule, sorry I missed mentioning him. He was in there for a little bit.
Oh, I missed him.
Yeah. He just popped in and out. Looks like.
Yeah, I couldn't. I missed a bunch of the chat at some point.
And
so,
I don't know
glad
who,
you-
By that much.
So there's Give Zero FX. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, he's a regular.
Okay,
That means he
that's-
gives zero fucks. It's not
that's
FX.
ZFX. Yeah, he's a regular.
You give zero FX. I give zero fucks myself.
Now that's Steve
Zero
Waller.
fucks.
That's Steve from Albany, right?
That's Steve from Albany. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love his
Oh,
mockery
he still
parody.
drinks. Oh yeah, he still drinks.
Jazz Arcade Brewery beer review. That was
Drink
hilarious.
From the carpet cleaner.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Good times. And Seabart made it in here at the end. So miss you, buddy. Seabart, you
and
have
Chris
to
is
see
still-
one of our things.
He's still here. So, dude, you need to make it out to
You'll be
Drinkers, dude.
sorry, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. Seabart, I need to, I need to see you in person so I can throw you over my shoulders and carry you around for a few minutes.
We need that video. So
Either
bad.
that or
And we'll get video.
you're welcome to lean up against a pinball and stick your butt out. Gak can get you.
Yeah.
Me and Paul can line up.
Might get
Yeah,
revealed.
do I have to come?
Wow. I mean, that's a bonus. Mock's a
Everybody
bonus,
is
man.
coming.
Yeah. Usually there's 3 balls in pinball, but sometimes there's 6.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
There might
What
be.
Rodney
Gives
Dangerfield.
a whole new meaning to multi-ball mode.
Oh.
Multi-ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, 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 no.
So, all right. So, wrap. I don't know if you
All
guys-
right.
So for
Good times.
our 6 subscribers, thank you so much for
Yes.
Yep. We appreciate
We
each
got
and
8 thumbs
every
up
one of
tonight,
you.
so I'm calling that a good night.
Yeah, we had a lot
Yep.
of people for
it's always nonsense. And you know what? If you guys appreciate this
Tomfoolery.
nonsense, then god damn it, show up to the fucking.
Well,
thing.
you know, and by the way, we have testaments now that what you see on this show, what you hear on this show, is what you get in person, and we have testimonies to this.
Yeah.
We are the exact same. This is a carbon copy. So if you're still with us, if you still enjoy this, God bless your soul. This is us in person, and we're just gonna chill and hang out and drink and
Party
be
with
merry.
and everything. Yep.
Yeah. We don't
actually
have any
get
other side.
less filtered, believe it or not, in person.
Yep.
You can imagine.
Yeah, we don't leave.
You be warned.
There's another layer beyond what you're seeing on this live show where we're
actually there at the event. Where you
But
can
I
see
guarantee
us.
you, it doesn't get any better.
we don't get more drunk, we just get more awesome in person.
In the manner of speaking.
So,
but yes, you get the.
So,
there's no off-air personalities. This is the personality.
What you see is what you get.
And
What, WYSIWYG?
yeah.
Yep. No refunds.
Fucking buffet? Are you kidding me? Like you're coming in like when we're fucking hammered, and you say that one fucking line. You're quiet all fucking night. And you're like, wait, what?
he doesn't pay attention to like the first hour and a half. And
I know.
it's like,
And then his voice out of
more arcade
nowhere.
talk.
Well, what do you expect? He doesn't
WYSIWYG.
have the computer screensaver.
Well, yeah, I don't drink either, so you know, y'all just kind of get in and do your thing.
Who's with us still?
You and Brad need to become serious bros.
Let's all grow an ass together.
Yeah.
Just one. All like combined ass.
Why can't you grow an ass?
What is this?
Why can't you grow an ass?
What
All
is
right.
this?
All right, good night, Steve. Steve's going to bed.
Let's shut
Had
the
enough
shit
of this
down.
tomfoolery.
That's enough.
Love you, Joe. Can't wait.